We sit here talking all night.
They all got turned into zombies.
Mhm.
Oh my god!
In a
Jesus.
Resident Evil
Pardon
game?
me. The husband is playing Resident Evil, and I'm asking questions, so shit happens. If y'all ever want to see what he's doing or playing, I'll ask him to live stream it to my channel, and you can watch him play if you want to. But it's up to him if he wants to do it that way. Anyways, hi, hello, how are you? Nicole's gonna be a little late when she comes in, but she is coming, so just give her a minute. So because she's gonna be a little late, we're doing podcast and Freestyle Wednesday today. So bear with us. All right. We'll be talking about a couple of things, but Alexis is here. So say hi, Alexis.
Hi.
So we're gonna be talking about a couple of things. A couple of things here. Okay. We got to talk about Elimination Chamber because as a pod, we haven't gone over Elimination Chamber yet. We're gonna go real quick though. Not gonna drill too much into it. We're gonna talk about obviously the oh god, it's escaping me. We're also going to talk about the class of 2026 going into the Hall of Fame, or what is currently the class of 2026 for now. We're also going to talk about Monday Night Raw because Monday Night Raw was filled with a bunch of shit that can lead into SmackDown and, of course, leading into next week, which will also lead into WrestleMania. Okay. We're going to also talk about NXT like I always do and talk about NXT Vengeance. And we're going to talk about WrestleMania, the changes from the card, how they change things on the card. And we're going to talk about Jade Cargill and the situation with her and the women in the locker room. And we're also going to talk about Mance Warner and Steph Delander because it's just been released that they both quit NXT recently. And they are currently in a feud with AJ Francis, but they have since quit TNA. Sorry, it's TNA. So we got a lot to talk about. Hopefully, by the time we get done with some of the other stuff and Nicole pops in, we'll be able to incorporate her and her thoughts because we know we like Nicole to be a part of the conversation. Yes?
Yes.
Cool. Elimination Chamber was this past weekend. And we're not going to dwell on it too much. We're just going to tell you who won and then we're going to move on. Okay? Because no, I'm not talking about it.
I mean, it's just a cut and dry pay-per-view, in my opinion.
It's pretty set in stone. And CM Punk retained his championship. They swerved the fuck out of us and gave that title to AJ Lee. I was surprised. I thought they were going to stretch this out till Mania.
I mean, like, I know I didn't really care about this match, and from what I heard, it wasn't actually like anything to really talk about, and it wasn't on AJ's part, which I'm just like, whoa. But I kind of figured she was gonna win because Becky's on her. I hate to say it like this. I don't mean it to be mean. Becky's on her way out. She's literally got one foot out the door.
I mean, like Becky said it herself. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like they could have had AJ Lee. I don't think Becky needed the championship for AJ Lee and then make AJ Lee champion. I didn't think they needed to do that. I also feel like you drag this out with this whole feud between the two of them, literally for nothing. Like you did a lot in all this time, and it just wasn't necessary. I didn't deem it to be necessary, and it was for me. And Becky's doing good as a heel, but it just I don't know the hesitation and the unnecessary running, and then you get in a match. I don't know, it's a little overkill for me. But then again, that type of match was not for me. So I didn't really care for it too much because I knew it wasn't for me. So I didn't watch it. I mean, the end of it was a little wonky. The Elimination Chamber match between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch was wonky. I don't
Mhm.
understand why they had like two instances where she tapped. I,
I
I low
think they're building.
key
I
just
think they're
pinned.
building some. Sorry, you cut out. That's why I thought you were done talking. That was on my bad. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I was
I
just
just wish she
thinking
would have
maybe
just
there's.
pinned her. I think they should have just been pinned and been done with it. But the tap was fine. I just was like, why did you have her tap twice in the match? And I get it. The ref was there. You had referee that Becky doesn't like. She's had problems with. The situation has been going back and forth between her and Jessica over and over and over again, mostly on Becky's part, not on Jessica's. And like Becky's doing her best Donald Trump impression, which is it's good. It's good. I just wish I don't know. I wish it was on a better scale, if that makes sense.
Mm,
It was
no, I get
wasted
it.
on AJ Lee because AJ Lee's not there enough for her to be able to double down on it so much, you know? But
I think they're building up for a match because Jessica used to be a wrestler before she became a ref for WWE. I think
yeah,
they're
she
building up
was.
a. Call me. This is stupid, just because I'm all about the gimmicks this week. I think they're building up something between her and Jessica for Royal Rumble, or not Royal Rumble, for WrestleMania,
That's wild, but I wouldn't be
because
mad at it.
they've been having problems since last year when Becky came back. So, you know, just saying Jessica snaps because, and Becky like hit her twice. She was like legit beating her up. So it could be like something happens like on Friday. I mean, this is so fucking simple. And if this happens, I'm a freaking genius, Tiff. But I could be like Becky coming out on Becky could be coming out or whatever show, but she's on Raw. Yeah, she's on Raw. Becky could come
Yeah.
back next week and she could be like, "This ref tried to fuck on me," like you know how like Cody used to do back when he was in fucking Indies in that one interview. Anybody who watches Botchamania knows what the hell I'm talking about. But it could be where Jessica finally like snaps and she beats the crap out of Becky, and then the next week Becky can attack her. And when Jessica, like as Adam Pierce is taking care of her, looking after her, she's like, "I want Becky at WrestleMania because I want to embarrass her." I think that would be fucking perfect. It gets Becky out of any title reign or any title fights for Mania, at least
Yeah.
for a while, and it's simple. And they can have Jessica win, just so Becky goes, and then Becky can do whatever the hell she wants. But as long as they keep her out of title contingency, I'm fine. I'm absolutely
I
fine
don't
with it.
think Becky's going after the title for a while. I don't think she's going after the title ever. I don't think she really needs it. Um, she doesn't need to do anything. She's already been tag team champion. She's been intercontinental champion. She's done it all already. I think it's okay for Becky to go sit down and chill for a little while and then just live life for a little bit. And that's okay, you know.
Yeah, be
Um,
there for her kids. Totally get it.
I guess so, Kayla. I mean, right now we got a long ways till midnight, so you might want to just hold off on that. Um, Jessica was so freaking good. I'm not privy to Jessica Carr and her indie stuff or anything that she's done prior to her refing. Doesn't mean she wasn't good. It just means that I haven't seen it. So it is what it is. Anywhoosies, moving on. As far as the chambers are concerned, in the women's chamber, the winner was Rhea Ripley. And for the men's chamber, the winner was Randy Orton. Now, a lot of people were pretty upset about it. It got to the point where I was in my DMs fighting for my life, trying to describe what the fuck is going on. And people are just like, it's boring, it sucks, it's stupid, it's da 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 da. And I need you guys to learn that if just because the IWC says something sucks does not mean that they're generally correct.
You can see a lot about that about Elimination Chamber. I saw people mad that Finn lost. I saw people mad that, you know, and I did see something on Raw, which I can understand people's frustrations, if that's what the best word for it is. Um, because I saw a title card on Raw where it said this is the fourth year in a row Rhea Ripley has won Elimination Chamber and going to WrestleMania. So I can understand the frustration, especially I'm a Rhea fan, so you know I love that woman more than anything. But I still wish, in my heart of hearts, that Raquel won. But I don't think Rhea's gonna win that title from Jade. But that's gonna leeway into some shit we're gonna be talking about later. And then people were mad
Um,
because fucking Danhausen showed up and they called it stupid.
yeah, so the Danhausen thing is interesting, but is that she's been to Chamber 6 times and she's somehow been able to go to Mania at some point and in some capacity. She hasn't won the Chamber 4 times in a row, and she hasn't won it 4 times. She's just been in Chamber 4 times. She hasn't been in Chamber more than Liv Morgan has,
I thought
which is interesting.
damn graphic lied to me, bastard.
She hasn't been in Chamber more than Liv Morgan has. Hold on, because I want to make sure I get it right, because I'm sure there are some people in the comments who are going to correct me, but hold on. Chamber appearances versus Chamber wins. Okay. Let me see. According to the, Gemini AI.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good.
Yep, she's only won one Elimination Chamber.
So I must have read that graphic wrong. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry.
As far as I know, she's only won one. She was in last year's chamber, I think. No, I don't think she was in
No,
last year's
because
chamber.
she was in chamber. The one chamber I remember everyone was being hyped up for was the one when they went to Australia, and I think she won at that one.
She wasn't in the chamber for that one. Rhea Ripley was at Mania. She was wrestling Nia at that Australia
Oh,
one,
that's right, because she was
but she wasn't in
champion.
the
That's
chamber.
why.
Don, right? She's been to Mania 6 times. She hasn't been in chamber more than Liv Morgan has. Liv Morgan has the most chamber appearances of everybody. So I'm not like saying that you shouldn't. Yeah, she wasn't in the chamber for the Australia one because she was wrestling Nia.
She was
That
wrestling
was the
Nia.
thing.
That's right.
So, like, my thing is, I'm not saying that you can't be frustrated. And I said this to my friend when I was talking to him. I'm like, it's not that you can't be frustrated. It's that you have to start using your brain when you're watching television. It's either shut it off and watch what you're watching for what it is, or use your brain and understand that they're not going to book the show the way you want them to book it. They're booking it for how it's going to sell tickets and make them money. That's what they're doing. And I know that sounds like super fucked up to some of y'all. It sounds like they could do better. And to be honest, they could still sell a lot of tickets and do better if they book differently. But they're resting on the guys like Randy, Cody, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. And you know why that is? Everything comes down to us. It always comes down to us. You always get mad at them when they're not booking how you want them to, but you forget that we control the narrative. You forget that we're the ones who control how much we watch. I'm not saying you have to do anything, But I'm saying if you're tired of not seeing people like Trick Williams on TV, or you're tired of not seeing people like Lyra and Bailey on TV, then when they have their matches, when they have their feuds, don't get online calling it boring. Don't get online calling it stupid. Don't get
Mhm.
online attacking it. Make sure you support it so that it can be seen. So they'll continue to put it out there because they listen to us when they feel like it. And
They
these
listen
types of
to us.
go
No,
ahead.
sorry, go ahead. No, I was just saying they listen to us when they start losing money, when they start losing viewers. Because you have to understand, if you're going to fight a corporation, you got to do it the way that's going to hurt them the most. If they don't make money, hence, well, they already priced half the fucking population out from WrestleMania. But if they don't have viewers, if y'all don't watch SmackDown and Raw, and I know it's different now because things are streaming and all this shit, and I'm an old fuck, but like if they don't have the views, the not only does the network start wondering why they're not getting any views, like the views that they were getting, sponsors are going to be like, hey, why aren't you getting this amount of people like you told us you could? That's just going to really make them shut up and pay attention. Or, when R-Truth, that whole thing with his contract, people got pissed. And it was like the IWC came together and it was actually a very beautiful thing to see. And we got his job back. And because you know why? A lot of people are like, I'll never watch WWE again. I'll never buy your shit. I'll never pay to go to another show. I'll never pay to stream your shows ever again. Like, they do listen, but we have to make them listen. And that's the only way we can is by telling them we're tired of your shit. We want to see new people.
I don't mind them making storylines with some, and this is, and the conversation that I had, this is where it shifted because it was like, it always gets compared to yesteryear, the time frames of Triple H and The Rock. And I'm like, you understand that what you're saying you want is exactly what you're getting right now. It's just different people. So you're saying you want to have, oh, well, during that time, we had like 5 different guys who were at the top. We do currently have 5 different guys who are currently at the top: Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. Throw in Trick Williams if you want to. Sami Zayn could be
Mm-hmm.
thrown in there as well. We do have top guys. You just don't want to see them. So the problem I have with a lot of you and the way that you structure your arguments when it comes to WWE is that you bitch and you moan about not being able to see new people, but you really don't want to see new people.
They don't.
Because how can you watch the shows of the past and go, oh, that's peak TV, that's peak wrestling? I can guarantee you, I don't have to watch any of that shit in the past. And I was there. I was present for a lot, especially around the PG era. I was there for all of that. And for the end of the Attitude Era, mostly like mid to the end of the Attitude Era, I was there and present for most of that. Okay, especially when we were going like extreme Attitude Era. All right. I
Mm-hmm.
was there for all of that. I remember who the titles circulated between. It was
Stone
The Rock,
Cold.
it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, and then it became Edge. Then it was John Cena and Randy Orton. Then you had guys like Mark Henry who would soup in there and get it. You had Big Show who would come in there and get it sometimes.
Chris
When the two
Jericho.
titles, Jericho, when the titles ended up splitting and they had them separate on different shows, that's when you started to see different people. That's when Edge became the dominant superstar on SmackDown. Then you had guys like Edge, Batista, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero before he passed away. That's when that came about. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, there were only 6 to 7 guys that title circulated around, maybe 9, including the Undertaker and Kane. So you sitting here telling me that you want it to be like what it was, it already is. It already is like it was. The
Mm-hmm.
titles circulate between a certain amount of dudes. You already know who those dudes are. Yet you're sitting here telling me this is not what you want. I don't want to see Rhodes with the title anymore. All he does is cry.
Okay, and so what's Drew doing with the title? All he does is act like an emo boy on fucking Twitter trying to be an edgelord.
Amen.
I know that's your man, Tiff, but you know,
No,
I got.
I give Drew the blues. I give Drew the business. I don't give a goddamn. It's the truth. The truth.
But then
I'm not saying you can't have what you want. I'm just saying if you're gonna talk the truth, then let's talk the truth. Because you bring up the past, then I'm gonna get you every time. I'm gonna cut you deep. Because if we're talking about past title reigns, the reason why Triple H has multi-title reigns is because he never kept the title past 6 months.
Yep.
He
He
didn't
would
have
drop
long
it.
title reigns.
He
He
would
would
drop
drop it
it.
back to
Someone would
Stone
have it.
Cold, or
Mm-hmm.
he would drop it, or he would drop it to The Rock, and they would be going back and forth. That title played hot potato between them guys every single time. There was never a time where they kept those title past. I think the max amount of time they would have a title was like 8 months. The only person who came from a yesteryear era, which is like CM Punk, who had the title for 400 something days. That was
And you know
unheard
what?
of then.
But you know what the funny thing is? No one complained about that back in the day. And this is like the shit that legit pisses me off is like everyone's screaming that they want new people for that title. We give him Jay Uso. Everyone loves Jay. As soon as he wins that title, oh, Jay's corny. Oh, Jay's kiddish. Oh, he's doing that stupid yeet. He's running. Like, y'all will find everything to
Yep.
hate
And
Jay
Nicole
Uso.
said, and to Nicole's credit, she said they was gonna turn on him as soon as he got that title,
We,
and she was
dude, we
right.
knew. We knew the second he got
Was it
that title,
same
everything was
thing
going to
to
change.
Kofi? Same thing they did to Kofi. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as he got beat by Brock Lesnar, it was see, this is what I was talking about. And it's just like, all right.
But then it's also the people that.
No, go
Well,
ahead.
then it's no, it's just like then when like guys like Kevin Owens, and I'm glad to see Kevin's doing great. It looks like the surgery he had his surgery. He looks awesome, cool. My son of a security alarm technician. I wish you the best of luck in your recovery, my G. Like I miss Kevin Owens so much. Like
Yeah.
even Daryl. Well, even Daryl was like, hey, so when's Kevin Owens coming back? I kind of miss him, and I'm like, oh.
I don't think Kevin. I don't want him to come back if he has the potential to get hurt again. Do I want him to retire? It break my heart. It broke my heart when Big E retired, but I kind of
Yeah.
figured that was coming, given all the updates he had given and everything he was saying. I knew that was coming. If Kevin retires, that's gonna break my heart too,
It'll
because
break my
those were
heart,
my
but
guys.
yeah, but you know what? I just say this. It's like it will break my heart when KO retires. But when you go back and you look at his like Ring of Honor stuff and all the stuff that he has given the indies, I mean, he's given his body for this sport or this industry. And I would rather him not wrestle anymore and be there for his kids growing up. And like if one of his kids become a wrestler, like he can come back and kind of be like the asshole manager for his kid. Like I don't know, be something cute like that. But they give you Kevin. They put Kevin in that situation. Y'all want Kevin. As soon as Kevin goes up against one of y'all's favorites, oh, Kevin's fat. Kevin has no charisma. Kevin can't hold a title. Same as Sammy. Y'all, a couple years ago, every single person was behind Sammy to beat Roman. I want Sammy to win. Go Sammy. My husband had his fucking propaganda albums out because that's one of Sami Zayn's favorite bands. He had a vision, like a sigil going on. I'm not even joking because he's
That's
like,
crazy.
this is well, because you know how we always talk about representation and how Kevin was always a representation to him. So was Sammy
Yeah,
because
yeah, that's
when we
cool.
were kids, when we were kids growing up, and you can agree with this, we wouldn't, if we became wrestlers, we wouldn't have gone to WWE. They wouldn't have even looked at us.
No,
They would just be like, nah. So we would be back down in like ECW with all the other,
that's where you would
people.
be. That's where
Hell
you
yeah,
would
I would
be.
be.
That's you. That is
that
not
would
my
be,
You got me
stilo.
fucked up. I'm going to
that would be me,
NXT
man.
tryout.
I
Playing
would
with
be,
me.
and especially back then, I would be the most ratchetest fucking white girl on that roster going through fucking
Nah,
tables and shit.
I'm
Oh
going to
no,
TNA where I
you
could
ain't
be
having me struggle.
appreciated.
I mean,
You know,
I would make the
wrestling
switch to
for a
TNA
hot dog and a favorite. The fuck out of here.
just so I could be like, hey,
Favorite
I
of
am
the
man, I
contracting
gotta.
excellent.
myself as soon as possible. I am not playing no games.
Absolutely not.
I'd be
No,
like,
I am
I'm
hey,
not
going
playing
to
no
Paul,
games with
TNA.
nobody. I ain't playing
I'd
no
be like,
games with nobody but Shawn Michaels.
I'd be
Yeah,
like, hey,
like
Heyman. I'd be like, hey man, I really got to pay rent this month. Can I have some money? Oh,
bullshit.
next
I
week,
ain't asking
okay.
that. Oh, I'm not asking that roly poly man for shit. I'm
Well,
not
you
giving
would think if he
nothing
was,
to him.
Paul Heyman was barely paying his own bills. What he about to do with me? Do for me?
yeah, pretty
Fact.
much. But like, what I was just
Cause I'm
getting
not.
to is
I
that,
wasn't going to ECW. If I was wrestling straight up, TNA is where I'm going. Period.
oh,
TNA,
I
or
would go
I'd
to
take
ECW.
my butt to Japan.
Oh
Facts.
yeah,
And make my
Honestly,
name
that's
in
where I would.
Japan.
That is low key. That's where I would go first. I'm not even kidding. I
That's
would
how
take
you
my ass
hone
to
that
Japan.
skill.
mm-hmm. Survive
I'm a,
boot
I'm
camp
a,
and
I'm a
die like.
God,
But pretty much
I'm
what
a
I was just,
presentation girl through and through. I would have been in there fighting with them hoes right in TNA. I'd rather go to TNA. I'd rather
oh
go
man,
there.
you
That's where the pageantry was. That's where the mess was.
be like,
man,
I am
Beautiful.
making like you got me messed up. I am making it out of Kaya's asylum. I'm not playing.
oh, the three of us against the beautiful people. Oh shit, that would have been.
Not
I
to poo
ate Angel
poo,
Love's
because I
ass up.
also I don't even know where you guys are at in the show, and I don't like poo pooing
Oh,
on
we
people's
haven't gotten anywhere. You're fine.
Yeah, we were just talking
poo
about
pooing
Elimination Chamber.
poo-pooing on anyone's looks or anything. But in hindsight, looking at them, because they're for some reason their theme song has been like going viral on TikTok,
Mm.
Really?
which is not even a bad theme song. But then I like looked at them entries. I said they're not. I said they're Ohio 6 at best.
Oh shit. The
I'm
beautiful
no, I'm being
people.
for real. Like I can go out. No offense to the area that I live at, but I can literally go out where I live right now and go to literally I could go to the bar that's right around the
You can
corner
find
from
some
me,
baddies
and I can find some girls who look just like them or even better,
better.
300 feet
I
away from me.
I just
You
always
know for
said
a
the
fact you're
beautiful
gonna find
people look like.
somebody better.
I always said the beautiful people look like the afternoon shift at a seedy ass strip club. But
Not even that. It was
Not
just
even
like
that.
even
They're
for the
just not
two.
even. And you
Yeah,
can find some baddies in a shitty strip club. It's just the
you
fact that they
sure
were
can.
very mediocre and they acted like they were the baddest bitch. And I mind you, sometimes you just got to roll like that. Like if you know you're not the baddest bitch, you just have to have the confidence to do so. And I respect that in
Facts.
most hindsights.
mhm.
But the way that they.
Okay.
Oh,
What
you
did they
tried
No,
a
say?
Vegas 10. You got to be a real. Let me stop. I don't even know
no,
who that is.
no.
Um,
I'll finish
and
up.
my
My whole
thing
thing was
is that
No, wait. I just
you
still
can
going.
be like, and I'm not to say, and this is speaking for me because I think I'm very average looking, um and I'm okay with that because again it's like it is what it is, whatever, that's life. um
All right.
but at the same time I'm not a bitch about it and acting
right.
like, oh, like I'm like acting like I'm so like, have confidence, but I'm not like mean and like towards other people or or like a
You're
bully
not
or
ugly on
anything.
the inside, so it
Yes,
makes
Right.
and
you look
that's what's
even
wrong with
better.
them because they're ugly on the inside
Yeah.
and outside, and yet we were supposed to call them the beautiful people, and they're like, oh, they're so hot. I'm like, their bodies weren't even that good either.
Mm.
They weren't
And
really.
I'm sitting here looking, and they like did like the close up. I said, "There's three other bitches in the back that got better asses than that. What are we doing?"
And the way they
Me.
dressed, it was very tacky. It was
It was
I'm not
very
very.
even.
tacky.
You
Oh,
know
it was
what? That's the
so
one thing
like mid 2000s,
I
man.
won't
Oh
give
my
them too
god.
much mess about because that was literally the time. Like everybody looked
Yeah.
tacky. I look at
Yeah.
pictures of me at that time. I look tacky as hell. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
But
That's just, and also that's the time period, and they were wrestling, so obviously you're gonna wear like a little bit less. That's the least of their problems with me is what the hell they had on, but how they looked flabbergasted me in hindsight in 2026. I was like, they're not even the baddest bitches in the room. Like, what are we doing?
well,
Not
the
even
reason
on the
why,
roster.
Not even on a
Not even
roster.
on
You
their
ain't even the biggest.
roster.
right?
You aren't even top 10 on a
Because
roster.
honestly,
Top
Christy
15, I'll
had
give them
them
that.
beat.
They're
Christy was
You had fucking Pete
I don't
Christy
even remember
Hemme
who
there,
all was
man.
on the roster at that time, but I know there's
Gail Kim, Christy, Hemi.
Yeah, those are two bad bitches. That's top. Those are top 5 bad bitches.
And then you had
And I don't even like Gail Kim.
I
and
think
you had
Kazarian,
Melissa.
was Kazarian's wife still there then, or had she left
Yeah,
that at that point?
What's
Tracy
that lady's
Brooks.
name?
Tracy Brooks. That was the bad bitch of
That's
TNA
another
right
top
there.
5. Again,
Woo!
Yeah.
they're really they're batting 100 right now. They're not doing too good.
And then you had who's the
Was
bitch
Melina
married? I don't
there?
want to call her. No, not, she wasn't. But who's the girl who's married to Brian Cage? What's her name? Melissa Santos.
Yes.
She was
I forgot she used to
also,
like wrestle
yeah, she
because she
wrestled
hasn't
in
been on
TNA.
TV in so long. I always forget about it.
Well, she was in TNA. She was under that. She was wrestling on the Indies as cheerleader
She was
Melissa.
on
And
TNA
then
for she was on TNA for a while. I think she left or was done around like COVID-ish because I
I just
remember she was still there when Tessa was still there when she was
mm,
going back when he they never should have had that man drop that title to that lady.
all I just know is that she was the girl who was with Awesome Kong. That that was her. So
Oh, I see. Again, hindsight. I kind of want to do a rewatch of old TNA since on Roku TV they have it
well,
on TNA channel.
what I was
I
getting to
watched
with
some old.
that whole rant is that it's the same old thing we were talking about, is that when they try to push someone new, because it's, as Tiff said, they're circling around the same people again for Mania, and my whole thing was like, every time they try to insert somebody new, y'all automatically shit on it, and I was like, during what, 2021 or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, when crowds were allowed to come back, Sammy turned on the bloodline. Exactly, Rory. Sammy turned on the bloodline. Every single person I knew was behind Sammy beating Roman. Everyone, because he's the underdog from the underground. Like, Sami Zayn is basically every person who has been told, no, you can't do this your entire life. And that's what I was telling Tiff, because we talked about representation and the whole ECW thing. Daryl loves Sami Zayn because he sees himself in it, same way that he sees himself in Kevin Owens. Again, representation matters, people. But as soon as Sammy didn't beat Roman, everybody turned on Sammy, and now they don't want Sammy to have any titles. And it's like, if y'all aren't happy, write fan fiction, make yourself a self-insert, and do it that way like a normal person. Because
But that's
we're
part of
tired.
the
We're
problem.
tired of your bullshit.
That's a massive.
That's the
Literally,
problem.
look what they just did to Danhausen.
For
Yep.
real.
They got
And I
some
Yep.
just
people were so mad, and this is what I'm saying. It was a fucking box that they had in their possession for 2 weeks. Who the fuck did you think that was gonna be? Like, what was
did
good? Y'all
you?
thought it was gonna be something serious?
They thought
I
it
got
was
into a
Jericho.
I don't know
I got into
why. The
a
only
fight.
thing that I thought was, and I think I said it in here, was what's his name? He has a weird username, but that YouTuber that we've like talked about a few times, he did it where Jericho's jacket was in a box. And I was like, okay, I could see that. Unless it was something like that, it should not have been Jericho. It makes sense for Danhausen's character. I do
Mhm.
And it
think
was
it
his
was like it
hometown.
was a little. I think in hindsight, with all the dancers and stuff, that was a
It
little
was a
bit
little bit
much.
much.
That was a
Yeah.
little
I
much. It
loved it. I
honestly should have
fucking loved
just
it.
been him.
Yeah. And he shouldn't have went to the ring. He should have just stayed
No,
at
he
the
never
top of
should
the
have went to the
key.
ring. They never.
And then
A
I should have cut out. He's gone.
Yep, that's it. And he should have done the blah 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 your curse bullshit
Yep.
and maybe something else like introduced himself and then blah blah. But yeah, the dancers was too much. You went to it
It's
was
too
that was
much.
too much.
But here's
Yeah.
the funny
But
thing,
now
Nicole.
everybody's popping for, and that's what I was like, I
Mhm.
wish people would just wait 2 seconds because they were shitting on it, and not even
Yep.
48 hours later,
It's selling
he's
out the man's
trending. Oh,
t-shirts.
he's hilarious.
Yep.
I like him. Oh, I think I could give him a shot. Like, shut the fuck up because that's what you
No, you
should have
don't
done
get
in
to
the
you
first
don't
No,
get
place.
to
for
do it
real.
now.
You don't get.
No.
No, we're gatekeeping
I
Danhausen.
literally
We're gatekeeping him.
I've seen, and I'm not even exaggerating, I saw tons of with saying, "Oh, I'll give him a shot. I like him now." And then people were like, "No, like this is what we're talking about. Like you guys gotta wait." And now now you're jumping on the bandwagon. Now everybody wants to hop on the train.
Hmm. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
told Tiff? I think it was earlier in the show or before we started recording. It's been 4 days since Danhausen's officially been part of the WWE. His T-shirt, he only has one
They sold
shirt.
out.
That is the
It's sold
top
out. I
selling
tried to
shirt.
buy
They
It's the
one.
sold
top
out.
selling shirt.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
y'all gonna shit on this man, but you're gonna buy his shit. Like,
And I swear to God,
no,
Nicole said that
no.
shit when we went live. I think it was when I went live over on my channel after we watched Elimination Chamber.
Elimination,
She
yeah,
was like, "Now watch, they're gonna be
because I had to explain who he was, because
yeah." Because
obviously,
Gerard needed to know who he was because he didn't understand what Danhausen was. And she was like, "I bet you." By the time he re-debuts on Monday, he's gonna do
Mhm.
something, and them t-shirts are gonna sell out. And I'd be damned if she wasn't right.
Yep.
And she was
it
like, "Oh,
wasn't
And
y'all
even the
gonna be
t-shirts.
jumping
I
on
said
it."
that he was going to get himself over, and I think people, and this is what I'm saying. So there's too much bad shit going on in the world. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
mhm.
I want camp in wrestling again. I want
I
it to
want
be fun. Like
yo.
everybody takes this so seriously. Like
Seriously.
they're like this is a real, and before someone starts getting upset, like it's a real sport. I watch quite a few real sports, and they're just as goofy. This shit's
I
Mhm.
not
like the fact
serious.
that you can
Half the
have the
NFL is rigged
goofiness.
at this point, to
You
be
ain't lying.
honest.
For real.
You ain't lying.
Basketball
You
sucks because it's like all the player except for Anthony Edwards. I know he doesn't want to be the safe face of the league, but he got to clock in. It's time. Um,
Yeah.
you got
mhm.
people. You got all these basketball players. None of them are struggling. None of them are coming from the slums. They're all mixed. They're all nepo babies. They're all
Or former players' kids.
nobody's outside
Mhm.
shooting in the middle of the hood. Like all these kids come from fucking private schools. So outside the league fucking sucks now.
No,
No
Nobody's
one's
ain't
fight.
no
struggling.
more
No one's
struggle.
fighting each
And I
Ain't
other.
no
mean
more
dead
struggle.
serious.
Ain't no more struggle.
So they don't have no dog in them, so they don't care, and that's why it sucks.
You
Yeah.
here's the fucked
Oh
up
wait,
thing
That's
we
because
why,
got a couple
honestly, that's why
comments.
I'm good with watching like I watch every, regardless of me complaining about sports. I'm really going on a tangent. This is why I focus on wrestling and like racing, because I know what I'm getting. When I watch
mhm.
Formula One, I know it's a
That's
bunch of
fair.
rich white men, beside except for Lewis Hamilton and
Lewis Hamilton.
whatever fucking Spaniards that are on there. Actually, you're European, so I'm lumping you in there. Anyone, there's someone on there who's Algerian, and there's like an Indian gentleman. So those two, them
Oh,
two, and
cool.
Lewis Hamilton. Everybody else is a bunch of rich white men. I know what
Mhm.
I'm getting. I know what
Fair
they're gonna
enough.
give, and they're not gonna give, and they're just gonna. And I low key view them as wrestling characters. Like I just don't think they're real people.
You
I
have to
just think
think about.
I think everything's a work. I don't
Mhm.
like I
You have.
think I no, literally, like I watch them, and so when people are like screaming and crying and complaining, I'm like, I don't even think they're real people. Like I just think they're just doing a gimmick, like
You
at this
you
point.
have to. The thing is also is that I started actually writing this thing, and hopefully I'll put it on the podcast social page before the end of the week. And I loved it because to me, Danhausen's entrance reminded me of the campy '60s Batman shows, and it's the cold opening, and it's the dancers and the camp, and one of the dancers was his wife, and she choreographed the whole thing. And I'm
Honestly, if
like,
he came out with just her and maybe one or two other bitches, that'd been fine. But
That
there's
probably
like 30. That
been
was too
cool.
much. I said, why is
It
there
was
30
too many
people?
girls. And
It
it
was
was his
too
first
many.
night. And
yeah, I
we
know,
didn't
but
know it was him. And I just was like, it wasn't that the whole pageantry thing of it was fine. And I understand where you're coming from, Alexis, is that the entire world was watching and they didn't understand what they were seeing. So it was just very
And
odd
it
to
was
them.
almost and it was the almost end of the show. So they could
So
yeah,
they're like, you can't really get. The only thing I can tell you is that I didn't mind the debut, but I wish it was just a little bit more subtle. That's the only thing that I'm saying, is that it was just too grand for the gesture. Because moving into Raw, it was very simple. He goes on Raw, curses Dom, Dom loses the title.
I love that.
And he had a fun, and he had, because that's the whole thing, and that's what's fun, because like a lot of us who like know Danhausen got to explain, because it's like it's funny because some, that's the whole thing about the quote unquote curse. Nobody knows if
Hmm.
it's real or not. It sometimes works.
Yep. But like you gotta think about it when we were growing up and like anybody who watched wrestling, hell, even when my parents watched wrestling like back in the day, everybody was a character, everybody had a gimmick. And next morning, I woke up and I went on YouTube and WWE Vault's still on there for the time being. So I watched the '92 Royal Rumble. It was just
Oh no,
background
that's
noise.
actually permanent.
Oh, it's permanent? Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
permanent. That's the vault is permanent now, which I'm like very, very happy about, because there's a lot of there's almost every match on there is great. Like they have a great selection. But yeah, the vault is a thing now, and it's a
Okay,
permanent
cool.
thing.
But I was watching it, and every single character or every single wrestler that came out had a gimmick. You had Coco Beware, the Birdman with his parrot. You had Davy Boy Smith come out with them problematic braids that he'd probably get somebody pissed off at him for. Randy Savage came out. He had the fringe, the cowboy hat. Demolition came out looking like that. Undertaker, you know, and I'm just like every single one of these, and I'm like, is this why everyone who watched wrestling back then, and take away from like, oh, we're on a show, we have to know what's going on in the locker room, that kind of shit. If we just went back to the innocence when we were kids and seeing this and how like insane it was to us to see a survivor of a nuclear fallout being a wrestler, like that's the shit I miss. I want to have fun, and there's no fun anymore. And it's
No,
like,
because everything has to be serious. Everything has to be a particular way for fans to be invested. And I'm just like, if you can invest in Orange Cassidy, then you can invest in Danhausen. I don't
thank
understand
you.
why it
Or
has
Mr.
to be a
Iguana.
thing.
If you're sitting here cheering for Mr.
La
Iguana,
Parka,
but you
Pop
shit,
Mr.
music.
but
Iguana,
you
Pop
and La
shit,
music for
Parka.
Mr. Iguana.
thank you, you shit on Mr. Iguana and fucking La Parka, who's, I don't think that's the OG La Parka, but it's a name
No,
that's
that's
known,
there's been like six La Parka. I don't know which number he's
but
at.
that's a name that's well known in lucha libre wrestling. You want to shit on people like that, or you'll accept that, but you won't take 5 seconds to literally pull the small computer out of your pants pocket and look up Danhausen. I knew who Danhausen was character wise before I even saw a match with him because I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And someone's like, oh, it's
I'm just
Danhausen.
saying,
I'm like,
when it comes to wrestling, people are taking it too seriously. I think that both of
They
them are
take it way
correct.
too seriously.
I'm like the
mm-hmm,
fun of wrestling. When you remember what was fun about wrestling, unless you're like a diehard match person, the what you remember is the stories. You remember
mm-hmm.
shit like when Jericho used to make fun of Stephanie and he like exposed her boob job. Like
Bottom
he dead
feeding trash
ass
bag hoe.
had before and after pictures, and then the second picture grew to the size of where her titties were now or at that point.
He low key ate her up with that. Not even gonna lie.
I know
Like the
everyone
shit
talks
that
about
The
the,
Rock used to do when like, and
oh my
this is the other
god,
thing, the shit The Rock used to do, like when he used to have the concerts and he would sing the songs and he called
yes,
Becky a bitch and said called her a hoe, told her to get her dirty ass out of the ring, was just talking mad shit. Or the shit with the truck, the beer truck with
oh
Stone
my
Cold
god, I
Steve
love
Austin,
that.
the milk truck with Kurt Angle, and people forget Kurt Angle was comic relief on Raw for a long fucking time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
for a
That was
long
most of
time
his
he was
run.
comic
He
relief.
was a serious. He would wrestle serious, but his character was a joke.
But there was one pay per view, I can't remember, I think it was a triple threat, and Kurt came out and he wasn't doing his little dances or whatever. The straps were down, he was locked in, he had the black mouthpiece in. I'm like, oh, someone's about to get really, really fucked up. Because that
Now,
Kurt coming at you, you don't want that version of Kurt coming at you.
yeah,
Like,
that was heavily leveled up Kurt. Now
yeah.
that Kurt Angle was that was the second stint of Kurt Angle in TNA. That's how he wrestled in TNA. So I'm just saying, like even the characters that you cherished and loved were buffoons. They were idiots. DX were
Mhm.
idiots.
Yep.
You can't convince me that they weren't. They did some of the most childish shit you could ever think of. DX took shit and dropped it on Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon and the Spirit Squad. There was a whole group of wrestlers called the fucking Spirit Squad, which y'all
Male
favorite
cheerleaders.
Dolph Ziggler was in the Spirit Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Can we just let things play out? If it's shit after a little bit, then it's shit, right? And if it's something you don't like, cool. But at the same time, I need y'all to just let shit play out and be like, stop letting everybody else tell you what should be great and what isn't. Stop letting
Mm-hmm.
everybody else tell you what's fun and what isn't. You all operate under this group think mentality. It's everybody else says it's bad, so obviously it must be. No, that's not always true. That's not
Real
always true
quick.
at all.
Real quick. When you guys started watching wrestling, who was the wrestler that you remember seeing the first time and going, yeah, I'm hooked? Not like, oh my God, they're good looking, first crush. Like we've talked about that. Who was the wrestler that caught y'all's attention? And you're like, I'm in this shit. Like I'm dedicating the next couple of years, if not more, of my life to this shit because of this one person.
Um, I think for me, it was that's a loaded question for me.
Because I know who mine
Nicole, you
is, and I
got
can go.
yours?
I low key don't think I can answer that fully because of how I
Yeah,
got into wrestling. Cause like I don't like I feel like I've told this story. Long story short, like I've got into wrestling. Okay, I gave her that toy. She can have it. I got into wrestling via like my grandmother because she really liked like she was like would watch like the Von Erichs and that old like territory shit with like Flair and all of them. So like I always remembered it. And then when I saw, and then I felt like I got into it for myself, or like really, really connected with it when I went to like that live show when I was like a little kid. One of my um, for any new listeners, one of my mother's best friends, well, now it's her ex-husband now, but her husband at the time was a local amateur, was a local professional wrestler,
Hmm.
and he did like a lot. He was like a bigger dude, so he did like a lot of like hardcore matches and stuff like that. So like my mother like took me to like a match, like they could like, oh, we're gonna go to support, and she didn't realize it was like a fucking death match. So that was
I love that
fun.
story.
But I think the wrestlers that I really like, wrestlers that I like really, really got into, like, and I felt like the first genuine connection that I had with like wrestlers was the Hardys. That was like the
I
first, and I mean like the first like connection where I was like, oh my gosh, like I really like them, like, and I just think I just thought they were so cool. And then obviously like Lita was all three of them like all roped into them. Like I got their I need to find I feel like they're at my mom's house. Like I got their books, like
Mm.
wow.
I got both, and I remember I read that Hardy one a few times because I think not recently, but I want to say I haven't seen that book in like a few years. But one of the last times I saw that book, I was like, oh wow, I read this a lot because like how frayed the pages were. Like I read that book so
Cover
much,
to
and I've
cover.
read like the Lita one so time.
Hmm.
Then I had posters of them, and then um their shirt, but I think those were the first ones that I like genuinely like built a connection with was them.
If I had to pick like people I like made me like lock into wrestling, to be fair, I was introduced to wrestling through my parents. So I knew I was aware of wrestling because my mom's a diehard wrestling fan. My father was a wrestling fan. He watched NWA. So he was very much into Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. He loved Dusty Rhodes. If I had to say like one or two characters that I locked on and I was like, oh my God, I have to see them. It'd be from two separate companies. One of them was in WWE, and it's later in wrestling. It's not earlier because I was locked in during the 90s and the early 2000s, but I really locked in during Edge's time, and he was my guy that I hated the most. I wanted him to always get his ass whipped. I didn't care who it was. I was like, take him down. I locked into wrestling then for sure. And then of course I love John Cena. John Cena is always going to be my guy, but he wasn't like my reason to always watch wrestling. I always had to see what Edge was going to do on SmackDown or who was actually going to take him down. So if I had to pick one, it was him. He was my guy. If I go TNA, I locked into TNA because I saw Awesome Kong there. And once I saw her, I was like, so big bitches get to wrestle now? And I was a teenager. I was a young when I was watching it. So I was infatuated with her specifically because there was no wrestlers like Awesome Kong on TV, especially in WWE. All the women were either really, really fit, overly buff, very much into fitness, like Jacqueline, like Jazz was, like China was, or they were very model-esque, like Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson. Those women were extremely in the model-esque size, or they were just very, very strong looking women, like Beth Phoenix and Natalia was. I didn't see a lot of myself. So when I used to flip over to TNA a lot. And I would see it. I'm like, these bitches are really wrestling. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, where does Black Lady come from? And I was infatuated with her. But if I had to say like a point where I was locked in weekly and I wasn't gonna not miss it, it was definitely during Edge's peak era and time on SmackDown. He was my guy. He was the one I focused on wholeheartedly. I had to see his demise. I had to see it.
So mine was the first time I watched Monday Night Raw. I was with my brother, and it's when The Undertaker came out. And it's just this tall dude who looks like a walking, this was like 96, but he had the hat and like the whole outfit and just like the pageantry of like when he'd come out because there was the smoke and the lighting. And then I got older and sometimes he had superpowers. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm into this now. And then, times changed. Then with Nicole, the Hardys kind of kept me from fading out because by the time the Hardys were coming, I'm like, you know what? I'm going into high school. I don't need to be watching this. Lo and behold, Jeff Hardy heard my call, apparently. Um, and it's the whole thing is that it's something that you're supposed to have fun with. And I hate the fact that people are taking something, especially nowadays, that people are taking something that's supposed to be an escape for a lot of people, and everything has to be serious. Everything. I'm gonna tell you what my kid said. Everything has to be serious. Everything has to be beige. Mom, I don't like beige. Why is beige even a color? She goes, and I'm like, I don't know. But y'all need to stop being so damn depressed. Because when did beige become a runner-up for color of the fucking year? Like, what the hell?
Okay. So we're going to get back on track because we got off track. We're on a tangent. So Elimination Chamber is done. Monday Night Raw comes up, and quite a few things happen on Monday Night Raw, people. First things first, it looks like the Vision is down, and they're down and out for good. The only two people standing are Paul and Theory.
That was
And
so good.
Logan, y'all favorite curb stumper, Seth Rollins, he technically is not cleared according to the general manager, but he curb stomped the shit out of Paul Heyman after he hit him in the back with a chair. Paul Heyman got carted out in an ambulance, and then LA Knight drove him wherever the fuck he drove him. Nobody knows where this nigga at. So all you see is LA Knight just whipping this big ass ambulance. Just sure.
That was such daddy energy. I know I hate using that word in like a sexual way, but oh my god, it was. I was like, damn, okay.
I love it. So that happens. AJ Lee comes out and issues a challenge and says she wants to be a fighting champion. So whoever wants a piece, they need to step up because she's fighting at Mania. So now there is a match at Mania, not at Mania, but next week. The girls are going to be fighting next week. And I have the card for it. There it is. It's going to be Lyra Valkyria. It's going to be Raquel Rodriguez. It's going to be Io, Bailey, Asuka, and Ivy Nile, all fighting for the opportunity to face off against AJ Lee. So any number of these women could win. If it's interesting, it's interesting. If it isn't, it isn't. For me personally, I don't know who's gonna win this match, but I mean, any one of these women would make that match great with AJ Lee. The banter wouldn't be good if it was Ivy, but
Ivy,
it'd be a good match nonetheless.
Ivy's filler, I think. They just needed one more person to fill spot. I thought Ivy was injured. I guess she came back.
She's been there. She's been there. Liv Morgan cut a promo. You can always go on WWE socials to watch it. And then Rhea Ripley also cut a promo, which we'll get to Rhea Ripley and the situation with Cargill and everybody in a minute. We just get to that in a minute. Then what everybody was really talking about was two things. Danhausen casually cursed Dominic Mysterio. And then right after that, Dominic Mysterio drops his championship. Now, you can say it was a coincidence that Danhausen cursed him, right? Or you can feed into the hype of the fact that the curse worked. But when you look at how it played out, the interesting thing was Finn Balor was not about helping him win this time. He wanted him to win on his own, like he said that he would. And so when JD was getting ready to interfere by giving him the ring bell hammer, Finn said, no. You're going to win on your own, like you said. And that little bit of a distraction cost Dominic Mysterio the match and gave Penta his very first Intercontinental match, his first championship. Love that for Penta. He's earned it. And he got his plates right away. I seen the video for them putting them plates on yesterday. So
no time wasted.
Them plates right after the match was over. Them plates were ready. Okay. So if they plan on dropping the title, it ain't no time soon. He got the plates on. It's what it is. Anyways, what everybody was screaming about and what everybody seems to now think that Mania is worth paying the ticket price for is between CM Punk and y'all Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. They cut each other pretty deep. You know, Roman's biggest blow was that he was going to put him in a John Cena retirement tour. And that he's going to put his ass in NXT and he's going to be training the other people to come up. And that's when he's just going to smash them every single time. But the death blow, and no pun intended, okay, was CM Punk saying that he was not going to just wrestle him at Mania no more. He said he was going to bury him right next to his daddy. I'm like, hell no, you should have whooped his ass after that. You should have knocked his ass out. Because your daddy really is dead.
I don't even want to hear anybody getting all worked up as soon as he mentions Larry on next Monday. I don't want to hear y'all getting mad.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, I don't
It's
I
know.
don't want to
I
hear
coming.
know.
nobody
I
talk
know
about
it's
that dead
coming.
dog. And
I
that's what
know
it
it's
is a
coming.
dead dog.
I know what it's. I know what's coming. But I don't
It's
want to see
coming.
anybody being like, "Oh, he didn't have to say that." See, this is the shit I don't
Oh,
like because
And I don't
I
even
don't
like
he
like
should have
that
defending
said
shit.
that
Roman
about his
either.
daddy. He should have said that
I
about his
don't.
daddy. Then you
I
owe
don't.
He
I
him
don't
could have
like it
for
when they
said,
do that shit.
he honestly could have said anything else. Literally anything else. And I would have been like,
he could have said he
whatever.
gonna bury him next to his funky ass
That's
career.
crazy.
Which
Yeah, he could.
I
Mhm.
And
mean,
that's what makes me mad. He didn't even have to go to dead parent route because
he didn't have to do that.
Roman has a lot of. I would have been like, I would have said something about his fucking teeth.
Mhm.
Nigga.
Shut up the picture of his teeth before and after.
On some
I would
Jericho
have
shit,
told
that's
him.
crazy.
I would have told him he's still mad because in the group I made for you, you were still the least relevant person in there, and you're still mad about
Well,
it.
The most
well,
popular person of that group's not even in this company anymore.
mm, mm, mm,
Just
They're so like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was
that
like,
was
ugh.
dirty.
I hate low
You,
hanging fruit. I hate low
it
hanging
mhm.
fruit.
was.
I
I
hate that
saw it
shit
coming as
so
soon as
much.
he said he was gonna bury him. I said,
And I
"Don't
was
you
like,
fucking say it! Don't you say it!"
Why did he even
Roman should have.
say it? Was it like the anniversary of his father's passing or
no, he just
something?
got mad
Or
enough
No,
at him,
he
and
got mad
he
because Roman cut his ass when he told him that he's gonna retire him and he's gonna put him on a John Cena retirement tour. And then he said, "We're gonna have your ass going down to NXT, training the next ups and what we do, and then you're gonna send them up to me, and I'm gonna smash each and one of them." That's what he said. And I would have ate off of that. Like, you gonna retire me? Word. All right. Well, let's see you try, nigga. A lot of people
I
have
would have
said it.
been like, honestly, I said for that requirement, you have to be at you at least have to be at work 80 out of the 365 days out of the year.
ooh,
Mm.
I said, since you can't even do that, let's start another conversation. Cause ain't
Or
gonna be you.
defend the title, or actually defend the title without your
I would
cousin
you don't
helping
even have
you.
to go that far. It's just showing up to work. And
Like
that's
you
also low
it's
hanging fruit, but that's low
but
hanging fruit that
it's
could get you
facts.
somewhere else.
mhm.
Like, you gonna retire me and put me in NXT. That's not a punishment to go to NXT. But it was for you though, because you didn't do too well in NXT. That wasn't your bread and butter. So
Yeah, everyone seems to forget that if it wasn't for the Shield, Roman would have been released from NXT.
And that's all you had that's all he had to go. And I would have been like, no tea, no shade. I said, I said, well, I said, no offense. I'd be like, you know what? No offense. You finally have a gimmick and a personality. So we don't have to send you back down there. But, a couple years, like a couple years ago, we still could have sent you down there. You can see, I said,
Oh,
we could go dig up, we could do a seance, talk to Dusty.
oh,
I
We
mean,
could have had
oh
him figure some
no!
shit out.
You know
I
what
mean,
he could have done?
wasn't that you covered in dog food not too long ago? That was you,
Yeah,
right?
Oh,
that's what I'm
Sitting up.
saying. Like, it's
no!
real. Like, people
Oh,
are
You
really
can
not
go
suffering
deep,
catching
succotash!
some stuff to really.
not suffering
And this
succotash.
is really bad,
I
but
would
I
have.
would have said it because if you're going to
Oh,
mention his dead dad, I would have been like, you got back, told them people you had cancer, and your ass still got booed.
Jesus.
I'd have been like, we are
God!
really different. No, I'm serious. It's true,
It's her,
though.
God, not me. It's her for a change, not me.
If he's gonna go,
That's
if that's what I'm saying, if he was
diabolical.
gonna go in a realm and talking about his dead dad, I would have. He could have just said that, and that's fucked up. But I would have been like, you know what? I'm gonna let you have it. It's fucked, but I'm gonna
No,
let
but
you
she
have it.
right though. But she
Mm-hmm.
at least she ain't talking about somebody who can't defend themselves.
Yep. And
You
I
feel what I'm
saw.
saying?
I was like, you told them people. I was like, glad you're okay, but you told them people your diagnosis. They still booed you. I'm
Because
saying
you
it's
can't
that's
bring
a
that
more.
up.
I said that doesn't have a lot to do with me.
I'm just saying, like, you've been out here begging for these people to acknowledge you when they didn't give a fuck about you a few years ago and your ass was dying of cancer then. If you was dying of cancer and couldn't get them on your side, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And that's it. You clocked them.
that
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
you didn't have to go there, but he gonna bring up that dog. That dog is coming up, and you
And
just gonna
that's
have to
I
and
take
just
that
no,
one on the
I just
honestly,
don't
chin.
want
if
to
he
hear
brings up
it.
the dog, you can't even. That's not gonna
You
do
can't get
nothing.
mad because you
No,
And I'm
started
not
it.
even talking about CM Punk getting mad. I'm just saying, like, you can't. He took it so far. Whatever he says, he can't combat it.
Nope.
No matter what crazy bullshit he says about that dog, he can't come because he already dialed up to 5,000.
He already broke it. He already
You
broke the
can't.
seal.
mm-hmm.
He broke the meter. You can't do anything. You just gotta argue. Y'all just gotta fight every week until
At
Mania.
that point, you
Honestly,
just
Yes,
throw hands. Roman should have bust you in your shit. I'm sorry, because you ain't been talking about my daddy. I don't give a fuck about no kayfabe and no wrestling match. Your ass would have been on the floor. You're not
y'all
walking
just
away
don't
from
have
me.
any new users or you new users. Holy shit, I've been at work for too long. Any new listeners? Um, using your person in your family who has passed, or trying to use somebody who's not in the industry. Try like it's that's probably one of the lowest shit to me, and it shows that not only creative can't think of anything good, you can't think of anything good because
Now, I
if
don't
you
even think
mention
creative gives them anything. I think they let Roman and CM Punk go off the cuff. They don't tell them
well
shit.
you talk, all I'm saying is if we were in the wrestling business and someone said something about my mom, my dad, my husband, especially my kid, my dog, my cat, I'm turning that shit into the NXT parking lot and we are fighting for real. Like I will bust you right in the mouth. And in Roman's case, he needs to get bust in the veneer sometimes. But you know what I mean though.
He must have been
I
cool with it because he did not react the way I thought he should
I
have.
would I would not
he
be
just
cool with
stared
that
at
shit.
him. I said,
He
I
stayed in
see.
full character, and you wild as hell
I,
with me.
I mean, that shit would have turned into the
And
NXT
that's how I
parking
knew. I
lot
said they
so damn
talked about
quick.
it, which makes it even more lame.
This way.
Because I knew, because once he didn't visibly have a reaction, I said, ugh. I said they talked
You
about it.
knew he
This
was
is
gonna
even
say that
this is
shit.
even worse.
You're terrible.
Hmm. It's just
Just a
like,
company man. Just a company man.
yeah, but it gets to the point when you're a company man, and I'm sorry. I would just tell them, like, look, leave my family out of this shit. And if they don't listen to me, then I'm going to talk about their dead grandma that passed away a couple years ago, and they were how they were their least favorite grandchild. Like, I
But
will go that
see
fucking
how
Honestly,
the
someone
narrative
said
is
that about
different.
me, they would really clock my T because that's facts.
No, for real. But you see how
My
the
grandmother
narrative
is a
didn't shift. Like
least favorite
least
grandchild, and I did
favorite.
the most for her. But I will not trauma dump on everybody today.
Hey, I'll
nobody
match you one
didn't
on that.
say nothing about CM Punk saying that to Roman, other than all of us saying, "Oh, we got a box, we got to fight."
Yeah.
But when Tiffany did
Like,
that shit to Charlotte, everybody was
it's
like, "Oh
Charlotte.
yes, this is great."
Which is speaking of that is happening again apparently.
Oh, with
Not
Tiffany
Tiffany,
or
but I don't
oh
know what
yeah.
is
Not
up
with
with that
Tiffany.
title. I don't know what voodoo is on the title for Mania season on that women's
Now,
title.
when you talk about Jade and this whole thing with her and Rhea Ripley on Twitter, somebody was smart enough to pull the timeline of how this all started. And it stemmed from Jade Cargill putting out that video of her describing what she felt like when Naomi turned on her and how she feels alone. I want you to keep in mind that that was a video put out to further Jade Cargill's feelings about the turn on from Naomi and how she felt walking into the locker room afterwards. This is character wise. Okay.
Mhm.
That is when Chelsea puts out the tweet that says, "Imagine being called a wolf and you're laid up like this." And I thought that was unnecessary because if the shoe doesn't fit, you don't have to wear it. and you started a whole narrative online about Jade Cargill not being a team player or not wanting to be a part of the locker room. Now, recently, all this shit is coming back up because Jade Cargill was having banter back and forth with Rhea Ripley, and in my opinion, Jade Cargill did go a little too far, and she made it appear as though Rhea Ripley is just complaining to creative so she can get her way every time on some WWE on real type shit. This, of course, led to full support from Chelsea, Piper, and even Nia Jax. And then Rhea puts out a tweet, or it was on her stories on Instagram, I think. Essentially, she was just like, "You don't have to do all of that, you don't have to break the fourth wall to get yourself over." Something along those lines. According to the dirt sheets, all of this is real. This is not kayfabe. This is not storyline. This is all real. Now, the dirt sheets have backtracked recently from what I saw, and they say that this is storyline. This is not real. The backstage is that they all are, cool and nobody's angry with each other. We're gonna take it as what they're doing is real shit. Okay.
Because this is
Two
where
things
I
can
think
be
it's
right at the same time. I think that Jade Cargill was out of line with which as far as she went going up against Rhea Ripley. I don't think Rhea complains to creative. Is it possible? Yes, but I just don't think
Out of all of them,
that's
out
true.
of the, I don't even know what I want to call those group of girls. All the girls who get used a lot or who are the quote unquote like the faces, low key, the younger ones, and I can't believe I'm gonna say something nice about Tiffany. I think like the Tiffany's and the Rias, they don't really do too much. They're just like whatever.
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah,
Which I
I
will
believe
like.
that.
I will give Tiffany her tens. Like she is the one. She'll be like whatever. I'm gonna do it.
And that's fine.
Something she'll go about it the wrong way, which she learned her lesson.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But I wasn't like sliding her slider. I did give her the business for it, but I wasn't like really to dig into her because I was like, she's still young in the business, and men do way worse in her position. Yeah, I don't think like them new girls like the Rias, the
The
Tiffany's
EOs.
and all them, the EOs. EO
But see,
definitely
and
ain't complaining. That's what I'm
EO
saying.
knows
Like,
better
I don't.
because
but no offense, but the people who are a little bit older, like
Mm-hmm.
the Chelseas, the
Like Naya.
the Nias,
Naya.
the
Mm-hmm.
Beckys, the Charlottes,
Mm-hmm.
those are the complaining bitches. So like that's why I like looked at that sideways. Not only like on Jay's Parks, I don't think she really should have said that about Rhea because I would have been like, she's not even a group of bitches that be complaining.
And she knows that. And I think she was trying, like I said, I don't think she meant anything by it personally. I think it just the banter between the two of them got too far. And she took it too far. My
Hmm.
thing is this though, when it went too far, my first thing would have been to call her. Because I'd have been like, yo, sis, listen, I know you want to. We going back and forth on Twitter because we got to make this shit work so that everything can feel like we gonna be at each other's throats. I'm all for that, but let's not go on some bullshit that could can make it look like I'm finagling shit to get my way, and two, it'll give the fans and of course the dirt sheets and everybody in between all the ammunition in the world to take clips out of context and use it to further this bullshit narrative, which is what is exactly happening right now on Twitter, on TikTok, and on Instagram as we speak. I have seen it 17 times today
Everywhere.
across All of my socials, they're taking clips with Jade when she was talking, when she was in the feud with Bianca and Io, taking that into context of what Jade Cargill said, talking about, oh, Jade Cargill was right. And it just is a narrative that didn't need to be spread, because if it's not true, you have now created something and gave it legs that didn't need to have that. You
See,
know
this is
full
how.
well that in this day and age, false information goes faster than the truth. It's going to spread like wildfire. It was irresponsible, is what I'm saying. And you shouldn't have done that. On the flip side, okay, I don't like the dog piling. Something
I don't
about
like
that
that either.
stinks to me.
Mm-mm.
That stinks, because you're talking about, like unless y'all know something that we don't, which 9 times out of 10 you do. It's very odd that Chelsea, Nia, and Piper all come out the woodwork or during a storyline that has nothing to do with them to just go, yeah, I fully support Rhea Ripley and everything she does. She's this, and that. And I'm like, yeah, we know she's nice. What is this? What are you doing? Like, I don't like this. We don't have to do this. Like, why are you dogpiling on her though? If she fucked up, I understand that. But first,
Mm-hmm.
mind your business.
Yeah.
Let Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill figure that shit out. But at the beginning, my thing was, Rhea, you should have nipped that shit in the bud right then and there. You should have called her and been like, sis, yo, we got a match. We got to be able to trust each other in this match. Also, I'm not going to say nothing crazy like this out the way, but if you going to say some crazy shit, at least let me hear what you going to say first. At least text me and tell me what's good. Then I can be able to be like, that's a little too far. I don't think that's where we need to go with it. But we can get personal. If you want to get personal, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? I could bring up the car situation. You could talk about me being kicked out of Judgment Day and Liv Morgan kicking my ass. Like, you can go anywhere but outside of WWE into reality, because that's when you taking it too far. And I
Um,
understand you're supposed to be that bitch or whatever, but come on,
I
See, the thing,
rein
also
it
guys.
in.
think I also think her completely starting off basically fresh at AEW also has something to do with this.
Mm.
And not in like in no and in my and what I mean is that how she communicates as a wrestler and a performer, because obviously, we've everyone has said there's even with the storylines being better and more consistent, they're not as pigeonholed and set A, B, and C and monitored like they are in WWE.
No.
And people, you're like, all right, we got to do what we got to do to like get this popular, get this started. And everybody, and I feel like they do nothing but get offend each other left and right. We know this, we've seen the
Mm-hmm.
aftermath of it with many of times,
Yeah.
whether if it was like that whole, obviously that whole big old thing with CM Punk, that shit with Britt Baker, and that
Thunder
weird
Rosa.
comment that she made, her and Thunder
Mm-hmm.
Rosa, like
Yeah.
there's so many instances, and them just being like whatever, we're like, and half the time not even really solve it, just be like, well, we just gotta do what we can to get this match over with and call it a day.
Yeah.
And
See,
I
this.
think she's still, and I think when you start off like that, that you just think that's normal. So yes, Jay did go too far, but I don't think it was like a super ill intent towards it, because that's what she
No.
saw.
Yeah.
So I think there's like a lot more nuance, and I don't like the dogpiling by led by Chelsea. I also I think there's like some, because I also like, I don't think like her, and again, I just don't think her and Jade probably get along,
And that's fine.
and that's
That's fine.
fine. Either something about probably either one of them or whatever just rub them. And then also Jade seeks just, to me, as like a person, I feel like she's just one of those people, like she really 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 views this as a job. She's
Yeah,
a
she
very
does.
like clock in, clock in, clock out.
And I think she keeps to
I
herself.
don't think she's, yeah, I think she keeps to herself. I don't think she's
Yeah,
very pressed upon making like a whole bunch of friends and braiding each other's
yeah.
hair and kumbaya and all that shit,
Mhm.
which is fine. But when people, I'm gonna say like a people like a Chelsea and a Naya, because I think they're very similar wise, like locker room wise, like they want to be everyone's friend, want to be in everyone's business, and then when someone's not like that, that really throws them off and that rubs them the wrong way because they don't understand why someone isn't like that, is like
I'm
that.
not a fan of Nia Jax, so her gauge
And
is
I see, and
being
this
Mhm.
is
real.
just me working with people for many of years, and I unfortunately have seen so many interpersonal relationships like work wise, and to me this is what it seems like,
Hmm.
which is, which it sucks. And it's just, it's weird, and it's just like whatever, and it's like sometimes like I like Chelsea, but then sometimes I'd be like, girl, let's not, because we know you're the one who's the dirt sheet bitch, so
Well,
let's keep it a buck.
Mhm.
We all know you're one of the ones who are in, who always is running to the, is how they get their insider tea. So let's keep it a buck.
I
um
just feel like I kind of get agree with Nicole when you say that there are going to be people who just don't get along. I don't think they don't
Mhm.
get along. I think they don't understand each other, and
yes, that's what I
that
think it is.
I think that Jay Cargill is just she's just different, and I think that she was able to bond with girls like Naomi and Bianca because we black. I don't know no other way to explain it. I don't know no other way to give it to you other than you go where you know you're going to be accepted, where you don't have to feel like you have to defend who you are or try to make people understand who you are. It's kind of easier when you're looking at people who look like you and know you where you come from. Y'all get what I'm saying? So for her to be able to hang with them, it's easier. It makes life easier. But she's not interested in trying that in the locker room, or at least that's what I'm getting. My perception is she keeps to herself, she hangs with who she wants, and she has her family, and that's where it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. You don't go to work and have to be friends with every fucking coworker that you work with. Because if you being real and let's be honest, if you're out in the real world, these people would not be given the time of day by you because they just are not your kind of people.
Yeah.
And that's
and
okay.
and I'm going to, sorry to cut you off, but this thought just came through my head. But when you come up, when you have someone like a Chelsea and a Matt, that's all, that's their whole lives. All their whole, everything about them revolves around them being a professional wrestler.
Right.
Everything from literally everything that they do outside the ring to who they marry to who they hang out with, the all they don't have, they are not friends with regular people. None of them have a regular fucking friend that is
Uh-uh.
not directly related to them that they spend time with. Every single person that they always are wrestlers, they do nothing but hang out with wrestlers, whatever outside content that they do have connects with wrestling. They fucking go to Disney every 3 business days, like the other fucking. I don't know why this is such a thing amongst wrestlers. I really want someone to explain the Disney thing to me with
They're
wrestlers.
Disney adults.
Go
That's
and
Fucking
hell, you go
weirdos.
look at their freaking bridal party. You know everybody.
yeah, yeah, we do.
Dead ass. Go on their Instagram right now, or Chelsea's, or who, or Matt's, whichever one, and you probably gonna have
You
to dig
know
for a while because they've been
everybody
married
in
for a
that
minute.
party.
You know every single fucking person in that bridal party.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
So that's so jarring to someone whose whole life and everything about them, interesting and not interesting, is directly tied with wrestling. And then you have someone with Jade who that's not.
No.
This is literally just a job. She has her, she had her outside stuff. She was like successful before. She's
Yeah.
she's a wag. She also owns like her and her husband own, was it that baseball or softball team or whatever they own?
I think it is a
Yeah,
softball team.
something like that. I think it's a softball team.
Yeah.
They have that. She's in. I was like, she was in the sorority. She was a Divine Nine sorority, so that's a whole nother thing. And then she also has a child.
And she finna start acting.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, she has so much going on, and like interest and like previous and like hobby and like all sorts of things, where the most interesting about her isn't wrestling. It's one of them, but it's not the most. And you can't say that
Right.
about, and Chelsea can't say that. Anaya can't say that. Um, which is fine. This is not poo-pooing on anyone, but this is just showing like they are just so
They're
different.
vastly different.
They're
Yeah.
so different, and they probably have nothing in common. And probably just how Jade is, that probably, I honestly do think that she probably had just like rubbed Chelsea the wrong way, because she's like what? Like, she's not trying to like, she probably, you know what I think happened? Chelsea probably invited her to some shit. Was like, we're gonna have a girls' night, like me and Naya and Alexa, and we're gonna go. I don't know, or and Maxine, because she's always with that girl. I don't know. They're going somewhere, and then Jay was probably like, nah, I'm good. And she probably asked her that a couple times and got a couple of nah, I'm good. And I think that's also a thing. Probably got a little bit salty about that. But
You
again, this
shouldn't.
is me
You should
just
be okay
spitballing.
with it. Alexis,
Ugh.
what do you think?
I'm gonna play Nicole's role. I'm gonna do devil's advocate, then I'm gonna do devil's advocate for each person. Um, for Chelsea and Naya and who was the other girl? Chelsea, Naya, and Piper.
Piper.
Um, which I'm kind of shocked at because Piper usually minds her own business, which is really weird. Y'all should have kept your motherfucking noses out of this. This didn't concern you. Um, if this is the thing that I know we said this before. If this shit is getting personal, take this shit off social media where people will see it and handle it like grown women. You're all grown ups back there. You don't have to get along with people. Same way with Nicole. I have workplaces where I did not like a single person I worked with. But you know what I did? I sucked it up and I went in anyway. I didn't have to worry about making friends. My thing was literally do my job and go home at the end of the night. That was it. Was it a bad experience? Yes, and I wouldn't recommend it. But you know what? I was 20, 21 years old. I didn't know any better. Okay? I did not get to see everything before people started backtracking and deleting shit. But what I heard was, and this is why I didn't think it was a work, Buddy got involved. And that man is hardly on social media. And anytime that he is anymore, Rhea is with him in some way, shape, or form. Or he posts something from his matches. He gets tagged in AEW, other promotions that he wrestles with. Buddy is rarely on social media. I think he has somebody who runs it for him, which I think is smart. But then apparently he chimed in and it went along the lines of if he basically was defending his wife as he should. And I'm like, okay, if the husbands are getting involved, it's time to take all this shit down. Somebody needs to get involved, not Hunter, because he's got enough shit to worry about right now. Somebody needs to get involved, call them all together,
Yeah, make
tell them,
somebody else do that. Who's not
tell,
doing nothing?
I
There's a
don't
lot
know.
of men back there ain't doing nothing. Go do
Bobby
something.
See,
Roode ain't doing shit. Tell
Bobby
Bobby
Roode
Roode to
ain't
do
doing
it.
shit. I don't remember the last time
this
he
is why
produced a match. Have a fucking town hall with these ladies.
because this is why they need women back there. Because if you had a woman back there, they would see this shit happening firsthand, and they would be like, "Shut this shit down now." I know, shut it down. Give me your fucking phone because I'm about to throw it, and you ain't gonna have access to it anymore. Like you need a bitch like that backstage who will literally tell these girls, "I'm not afraid of you. Take this shit down." or you're not going to be on TV for the next 2 months and you'll miss Mania. Like, you need a bitch like that backstage. You really do. And it got me just thinking, because Cardona used to get in with Chelsea's little Twitter shit that she used to do when she was on the Indies, or even when he was still on the Indies and she was back in WWE. And it's always kind of along the lines of like, hey, Cardona, tell your wife to shut up. And I'm just looking at this all like, trying to look at it from different angles, which I know is very, very confusing, because Chelsea's the one who kind of told us. I mean, Chelsea is literally the one that dropped the fucking bomb about Tessa Blanchard and all her fucked up shit that she was doing behind the scenes that nobody knew about. And I'm just kind of like, okay, there's got to be truth in something, because I understand where Jade is coming from. Wrestling is her life, but it's not her entire life, if that makes sense. Like, she's married, and I'm not saying, a lot of them are married back there. She has a child. Not a lot of them have kids. Like, the ones I can think off the top of my head with women who have kids are Becky. And, like, that's it.
And Asuka, apparently.
Well, Oscar's got grown kids. That's different. I'm talking
I forgot those kids are grown.
But that's because she keeps such a great low profile, and she did this interview with a magazine in Japan, and she's like, I will never put my kids on social media because this is not their life. This is my life.
Well,
and
plus,
I'm not going to
see what them kids look like.
Right. Like, that's
her business.
Yeah,
right.
I do not need to see them children. That's none of my business. I ain't gonna babysit them little fuckers. Ain't nothing to do with
look, to be honest, with all this shit coming about the Epstein list and everything, and I'm never gonna put another picture of my kid online. Like, if you cannot take the time to come see my kid, I'm not fucking putting a picture of her online. Like,
respectfully,
no, because there was a couple years ago. I won't get into it. I said something on the show, and at the time, on my old account, I had pictures of my kid. People started making death threats to her. I just wiped that shit clean. I think there's maybe one picture of my kid on my social media, and that's it. And I should probably go and block her face from here on out. But, like, I don't understand why those three had to get involved. And if it was just because Rhea to me seems like the kind of woman, like, she doesn't like to play this bullshit, because it probably was kayfabe to a point, and then a line got crossed, and then that's when shit started getting real personal. Going back to what we just talked about with Roman and CM Punk, I don't like it when, and it's just my opinion, I don't like it when it's okay to break the fourth wall and do shit like that. But it's one thing, like, over at AEW, the Young Bucks brother just got beat up by FTR and got fucking pile drived in the ring. This is the first time ever I am on the Young Bucks side. Like, that's how you play with someone's emotions. It was the brother who used to be a wrestler but retired.
Oh no, I know what that one is. That's still fucked up though.
So, like, that's like,
it's pretty bad.
Honestly, it wasn't. I don't even fuck with the Young Bucks. I've been like, I will go with you to go pop the trunk, because that's
for real.
I'll actually ride with you in the car.
For real. Like, I'll wait outside for them too if they try to run and get back towards you.
Like, I'll trip them. I'll trip them. This is the only time we hanging out though. It's the only time.
Pull Blicky out from the fucking gov box and look at Dash, be like, where you going, white boy?
She ignorant because she said, I will trip him. That's the only time we go hang out though, is for me.
But, like, it made me care about the Young Bucks, because it's like, what does their brother have to do with this kind of shit? And their brother used to be a pro wrestler, so it's not like, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to take a pile driver. I mean, pile drivers are scary, but he knows what he's doing. And it's FTR. They're safe workers. They know, but that's still like an emotional thing. Like, that's their brother. And I don't like it when people, especially like people who are not in the business, They tried to bring them into storylines. Like, I love Samoa Joe, but I did not like that shit that he did with Wendy and their daughter and her and AJ's daughter at the time. And I was just like, Joe, I understand you guys
Oh,
are
I didn't
friends,
like that. I didn't like
but
that.
what the fuck are
I
you
know
doing?
exactly what you're. I did not like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like
I
it
did
when,
not like
and
that.
I understand Natty, we're always talking about like Roman's the corporate guy. Natty's the corporate woman because after Jim Neidhart died, may he rest in peace. Because again, watching a lot of WWE Vault, the man is highly underrated. Um, when she did that shit with the Riot Squad and they were doing all that crap to her and put his image on a table and was gonna put her like
Oh,
that
I would have busted one of
shit.
them little girls in their teeth.
Oh, I fucking cried when Natty won because I was just, I don't know why. You get so emotionally invested in that. But see, I don't like that shit. And the minute that it got personal and a line was crossed, that's when you don't deal with this shit on social media. Like y'all said, you go to that person and you hash it out like adults. If we gotta fight, we'll fight. One of us will get suspended. Cool. I'll see your ass at WrestleMania. I'll make fun of you online. But we ain't gonna get personal where people can see it. We've said this so many times on this show. Half the drama that we know that goes on in those locker rooms, whether it's WWE, TNA, AEW, MLW, GCW, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of W's. AAA, CMLL, New Japan, Shimmer, Stardom, Sunflower, whatever promotion. We should not know about half the shit that's going on back there. When that fight happened in AEW with Punk and the Bucks, we should not have known majority of what we did. We should have just known there was an altercation between the Bucks and Punk,
That
and
was
that was it.
such a good time. Like
It
in
was
My,
good
hindsight,
though.
looking back, that's such a
Oh,
good time
oh, it
on
that
was
was the old.
so
that was such a
you
good
ate.
time on the
You
internet.
ate so good. You
That was
ate
such a
so
good
good.
That was the.
that whole like 3 days was peak.
Oh, peak.
Oh,
It was
that was the
You
so
ate
only
because
so
it
time.
was
good
just information everywhere. Like
every time.
every wrestlers are being nuts. Like people lost
Yes.
Hmm
their mind. Oh, it was
Yes,
so
it was
good.
good. It was a good
I
time.
got into
It was
some
a
of
good
the
time.
best arguments on TikTok with people. It was
But
perfect.
I will say,
Everything
like,
about it.
too,
That was the
Alexis,
perfect time.
yeah, but it was like you couldn't escape that though, because there was video footage.
And the
That was
freaking back hallway shit. That's what sent me.
that was the video footage. So I
And
wouldn't
then
run
it
the
was the
dirt sheets,
fight.
but y'all would get a wall of voice memos from.
And then not even that. You had that whole fight that was like the catalyst of Punk leaving AEW was with him
It was
and
too
Jungle
much.
Boy. We did get video. You saw Jungle Boy walking up the Punk trying to be 3 inches taller than what he really is and got
Full on
choked out
aggressive.
first. Okay, he got choked out a little bit for his troubles.
I wish we would have had video footage of the Bucks fight with Punk though. That's the one I
Oh my
wanted to
god.
see.
That's the one I wish we had.
That's the one I
For
wanted to see.
real. What do you mean
Oh,
y'all don't have
I'm
video
so
of
mad
that?
about that.
Come on.
Why'd you
Yeah,
remind me?
yeah.
I'm
I
Somebody
really
has
so
need
video of
mad.
footage
it.
for that. I was like, y'all see
I,
Punk.
I, I
Just
need.
put the shit out there. Because the way the Bucks talked, they was acting like they was just so innocent and that nothing, they didn't do anything to cause this fight to get worse, and how they were just defending themselves. And I was like, some don't
I'm
sound
like,
right.
some don't sound
No,
right.
because
Some don't sound right.
Kenny came out the next fucking week, not like the same week after the fight happened. He got bit by Ace Steel, like this is a grown man biting another grown man, and you could see the bite mark on his arm. Like there's no
The
covering
only
this
person
up.
I
We
did
know
believe
what
was
y'all
Kenny,
did.
because and CM Punk even said Kenny was trying to get my dog out the way. And I was like,
Kenny
okay,
was saving
so
Larry. Because
Kenny's all right.
Kenny is literally a German or a golden Labrador in human form. I can't, that's
He's
the
I
just
only
like
way
trying.
I
Kenny
can.
Them
anyway.
motherfuckers are scrapping, and he's just trying to help out the dog.
He just trying to
I
get the dog out the
know.
way. He
I'm
was like,
just
let
like,
me
oh
get
my
this
god,
dog
Yeah,
out
Kenny.
so y'all don't beat this
because
dog up.
Larry's probably going crazy.
because
Yeah.
he sees some dude
And
attack.
yeah, and that's no shade. That's like not, and I'm not saying like that was wrong, but no, like your owner is in a heightened situation, so the dog is
The dog's
upset,
gonna bark.
probably.
It's gonna get
Yeah.
upset. Yeah.
My dog is not the smartest. Look, I've had two dogs. They have not been the brightest dogs in the world. I have Odie, and I had an American Bulldog boxer mix named Bowser. Their IQ combined is probably a single digit,
She
but
is not giving Odie enough credit. Odie's fine.
he's he's a good.
Um,
He's got
I
crackhead
don't know how I
energy.
feel about
But like
that.
what I'm just saying is that especially Bowser, he would that dog if someone came near me and they did not know me or he didn't know them, that dog would throw down. He would literally throw all 75 pounds of muscle that he had in front of me and ready to fight this person. Same thing with Odie. It's just like I don't understand. Like I get it. There's probably a click, and maybe like Jade. I, I can't speak for the woman because I personally don't know her. Okay, but
Mhm.
maybe Jade is seeing something where she saw all that at AEW, where it's like Britt Baker. I will never forget Lufisto saying Ruby fucking Soho, probably one of the best women wrestlers ever, was basically like cowering in Britt Baker. And I'm like, that can't. Maybe she was used to seeing how, and I hate using this word, but no, Kip Wilson's making it cool again to use. Maybe she saw how
Toxic.
toxic a lot of the women wrestlers were in the AEW locker room. And she hasn't been in WWE for that. Well, no, she's been in there for a while. But maybe
Yeah,
she still thinks
but
that.
if you're traumatized from a job, that's not.
Well, I'm not saying
I
she's.
think she's just gonna go where she feels the safest. And it's no
And
shade
I
to
don't.
Chelsea, but Chelsea shouldn't take it. She shouldn't take it to heart. Is all I was saying. I get what Alexis
Yeah,
is saying, but I don't. I feel like first of all, my problem is, and I don't like Naya. There's something about her that does not that rubs me the wrong way. She's. I'll say it this way.
she's a
Jade
Zendaya.
Cargill has every right to be to herself if that's what she wants to be. That does not make her standoffish. That does not mean that she's not a girl's girl or that she doesn't support because she doesn't want to hang on your tit all day. She doesn't have to. That's the point. I think that when
I'm.
you're a part of wrestling, like Nicole said, especially with her, Chelsea being a part of the old school regime, there's a certain way people expect you to act around them. And when they people don't give you what you want, you misinterpret behaviors. It leans into you not understanding how the real world works, babe. And I need you to come out of this bubble of wrestling and go into the real world, because in the real world, everybody that you work with is not going to be your family and your friend. You're going to be cordial with them. You can say hi, you guys can talk, get to know each other, da 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 da. But I'm not going to hang out with you after work is over because I don't have to. I don't want to. I see
But to
your
add
ass
on
every
to
day. Shit.
but to add on to what Nicole said about like how there's always a group of them, uh, going to Disney and always like, oh, girl time. Oh my God, Rhea's never with them because you
Mm.
know why? She's either working, she's doing promotions, or she's at home with Buddy and that weird ass dog they have. But
Rhea
she likes
keeps to
it,
herself
whatever.
too. But I think the
But
Yeah,
I
thing,
think but I think she keeps to herself. But I think while like they're out, or I think really. I think she's nice enough,
mhm,
and she is social enough for it to be enough.
yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
I,
She's social. I don't think she goes out, but I does think she'll be like, you know what, I'm in town for extra day, whatever. Or she'll be like, she's one of those people, like I feel like she's always down. She will never go out, but she'll go with you to dinner.
or
yeah.
like they'll go get a drink
Yes, or
at a really,
she's one of, and I feel like I clocked her tea with this. She seems like a very, I'ma literally have one drink and go.
yeah.
She's a very like, I have one drink. All right, I'm getting out of here. She finished
I
that
also,
drink. She say bye. She's good. She in and out in a good 40 minutes.
I can
yeah,
completely understand that because I'm the same
but
fucking way.
I also think that it also is a misinterpretation thing, and that happens a lot with a lot of black women too. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
no shade to Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea's racist. I don't think any of them are, but it happens. We always get demonized as the mean girl because we're not responding to them the way that they want us to. And that is a big, big thing. If I'm not smiling all the time, I'm mean or I'm mad. If I don't speak to you or hang out with you or ask you how you've been, then I must not like you and I hate everybody. And that's just simply not true. There is a lack of understanding that I believe is going on here, unless there's been some more interaction backstage that we're not privy to. But going off of my own personal experience, it is a stigma that is always placed on us, me in particular, because I don't speak a certain way. They take it as aggression. If I don't smile at you, I must be an angry black woman. I have to constantly have a smile on my face. I have to be okay with everything. I have to accept your advances for friendship, and I don't have to. That's the thing. Rhea has the privilege to be able to go and do what she wants to do and still be considered nice and kind and loving and sweet, whereas Jade Cargill is demonized as somebody who's mean and mean girlish, and she's this and she's that, and I don't like it. Something about this doesn't feel right to me. It stinks, and I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it at all. And the more I think about it, the more it's leaning towards y'all are misunderstanding her. I don't think you truly understand her.
I'm might be saying this just to be catty, but there's just I know everyone like they're like, oh, Chelsea's. I know a couple people said it here on the show too. People are like Chelsea's the girl's girl. Chelsea's this. There's something about Chelsea Green that I do not like. Like something about her when I look at her, something rubs me the wrong way. And I said some fuck ass shit about Chelsea. I stand on 10 toes about that. I know I have. Proof's in the recording right fucking there. But there's something. It's like Naya. There's something in Naya that when you just see it, like, this is just not even wrestling. This is just girl to girl talk. Okay? When you see a girl and you just instantly, like, you haven't even talked to her yet, you haven't said anything to her yet, you don't even know her name, but when you look at her, you're just like, something ain't right with her. There's something off with her. Like, not even like trying to be mean, it's just something with her that you don't vibe with or you don't click with. Like, right, like just first meeting kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
I
get
try
that
not to
with
do that to
Chelsea.
people though. I try not to do that to people because we don't know them, right? It's the things that Naya has said that I don't like. The behavior on social media, the things she has shared and talked about, those things I don't like. Um, which is deemed me to be like, okay, I'm not the biggest fan of her. Chelsea, I think, means well. That I will say. I don't think she has really any real ugliness towards people, but there's a certain way. I don't know how to explain it without it coming across like these are microaggressions, and she doesn't realize that she's doing them. And I don't think anybody else is seeing it either. But that's how it's coming across to me, because you can't convince me that Jade Cargill is back there pissing everybody off to the point where they've isolated her and only 3 people have come out and they're dogpiling on her together. Okay. Especially when one of the nicest people backstage in Naomi has abdicated for Jade Cargill on multiple occasions, as have Bianca, right?
Uh-huh.
So something about this just doesn't sound right. And I don't like speculating. I'd rather have all the facts than to speculate. But like I said, I don't like the dogpiling. I don't like it. And I don't like the behavior. And I give Jay Cargill hers because she was out of line. But Rhea, as a woman, should have went to her. I understand why she came on social media though, because you don't put my name out there as somebody who just complains to creative, and you don't change the narrative of who I am and what I do here. I don't like that. That should have been a conversation with Jade though. And instead of going there with her, you should have stayed in character and went back at her. But behind the scenes, you should have checked that shit then. That way, when y'all go to work and y'all get ready to work on Friday, y'all got y'all air clear and everybody's moving in a smooth pace. Ain't no weirdness happening backstage. Now, whether she talked to her or not, we don't know. We don't know. But I can't, I don't hate Chelsea. I don't have any issues with Chelsea. I think she talks a lot. I think sometimes she talks to her own detriment. I do think that. And I also think that sometimes Chelsea believes that whatever she does, a lot of people should be doing to get themselves over the hump to get out there. But what works for Chelsea isn't going to work for somebody like, say, Julia, or for somebody like fuck ass Kiana, or somebody like that. Sometimes the workhorse mentality or the I'll do whatever you say mentality works for you because you have the ability to sway it in a way that it looks cool. Whereas somebody like Julia, they need to be prepared. They need to be propped. They need to be primed to be put in a better position. Okay. And that's fine. I'm just saying when it comes to this situation, like, I don't like it. And with Nia backing you, to me, that's never a good fucking sign. I don't care what you're talking about. It's never a good sign if she's on your team and she's talking all this rah-rah bullshit, because that's not what you were saying when you was shitting on Carmella, making Carmella look like she was attacking the Bellas and shit, or how you be talking to Maurice. Like we saw. We was bitch, we was watching it. So nah. Mm-mm. I can't speak on Piper because Piper seemed like a nice person. I think she just backing whatever Chelsea is saying because she cool with Chelsea, which is fine. But sometimes you gotta tell your friend to calm the fuck down.
Yeah. Because look at everybody deleting shit.
Yep.
Why? Because WWE, like y'all done went too motherfucking far. Y'all done went too far. Get this shit cleaned up. And now, what I said earlier is happening because the fans are the ones who are going to continue the narrative because your ass done put it out there. So what are they doing? They pulling clips and videos from old WWE shows. They pulling clips and videos from interviews and creating the narrative so they can get views and fucking streams on their shit. And now it's snowballing into something that it didn't have to become. It didn't even have to fucking go there.
Because and they have to understand when you put shit on social media, and I cannot stress this enough, and I don't understand how in 2026 people do not understand this shit. If you put something on social media, especially if you are a celebrity or you are somewhere where a lot of people follow you or something like that, if you put something out there and then you delete it, somebody, I will guarantee you 9 out of 10 times, somebody has a screenshot of that shit sitting on their phone waiting to use it against you somewhere down the line.
Of course. It's the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
I honestly
things to talk about.
Go
ahead, Lexus. You can ride it out.
No, it's just so middle school girl shit. Like y'all are all grown. Y'all like frontal lobe is developed. If you had beef with each other, you should have went and talked to each other. And as for the other three, they need to shut their fucking mouths, especially Piper. And I could say something really mean right now, but I'm really choosing not to. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
No, we're gonna rise above and be better than that. We're not gonna do that.
Right. Michelle Obama said if they go low, we go high.
Now I don't follow Michelle Obama's Eat It.
What?
I love Michelle Obama. Listen, I love Michelle Obama and I love Barack Obama. I love them both. But listen to me. Sometimes when a bitch go low, you got to go to hell. I don't care what she talking about. because there's never in a day where a motherfucker like Donald Trump would be talking shit about me and get away with it, and I don't read him for filth. There's never a day. I'm not even giving you a free pass. I'm not doing it. I'm taking this shitty booty to the ground. I'm taking you down with everything I got. I'm aiming every fucking barrel I got. I'm aiming it at you. Sometimes you just gotta go take them to hell. You just got to.
See, now I want to say it.
I can't. No, you're not gonna say it. You're
Can I put it in the chat? Can I put it in the stream here chat just so I can get it out of my?
No. You can put it in the group chat. You can put it in the group chat.
I will put that in there after we get off of recording.
Now, there's a few other things we could talk about. We'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. But speaking of Mania, now, before all this shit happened with Rhea Ripley, she was the one chosen to go up against go up against Jade Cargill. And then you look at the card on the men's side, CM Punk, and huh? Right? No, they're plums and nectarines, baby. One of each. You saw that Roman and CM Punk have been chosen, and they're gonna fight. So the other match that everybody was concerned about was the title over on SmackDown, because it's in full chaos. Everybody wanted Jacob Fatu in the chamber. They wanted him to be champion. Everybody wanted Trick Williams to win chamber. That's what I saw all over the IWC. And a lot of LA Knights was in there. My thing with LA Knight winning was there was no storyline with LA Knight going into the chamber other than the Vision being a part of the chamber. And there was nothing between him and Drew McIntyre. Could it have been built? Yes, it would have taken 7 weeks to build that feud with them. Sans the feud that they already had built between Cody, Drew, Randy, and Jacob, and Sammy, if you include Sammy in there. So now we have the fight with Drew McIntyre possibly could lose his title on Friday, and a matchup would be between Cody Rhodes and Randy, a match that people had actually been waiting for and could rival the match between CM Punk and the OTC1. So, my question to y'all, I'll start with Nicole first, since Alexis, you talk last. We'll start with Nicole, and then you answer after. Do you think this pivot is going to change anything? Because we got the big roaring interest in WrestleMania now, because the consensus I got was, I'm ready. I got to see this match between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Quite frankly, I'm not excited for the match. I'm excited for the blowout between the two of them, because I know the match ain't going to be that good. I'm not stupid. Okay. But
you ain't gonna fool me. Same thing. That match is ass.
Period. The where I'm at, because you know that match ain't gonna be shit. You know that match ain't gonna be shit.
How ass it's gonna be.
If it's
good, it'll excuse the hell out of me. But I don't think it's gonna be good.
I don't think it's gonna be good. Not as good as what we getting in terms of the banter back and forth and the possible fight that's gonna break out between the two of them. It ain't gonna be better than that. I put my life on it. Okay, but do you think that pivoting, because we don't know for sure, I still think the match will turn into a fatal 4-way, because I don't think this match on Friday is going to end in an actual winner. I think it's going to end in disqualification.
And Jacob is not letting Cody. Bye.
He not.
Bye.
He not. Unless they give Jacob Drew at Mania in a separate match, which, to be honest, I wouldn't mind. But
I wouldn't mind, but they wouldn't do that.
They're not going to do it. So my question is, do you think that this pivot, so we'll stick to the pivot that we think, which I think it's going to end up in a fatal 4-way, but the IWC thinks they're going to shift to Cody and Randy.
Oh.
And then they think it's just going to be Cody and Randy. And then that, because Cody's going to win, the title back, and then Randy's going to be facing off against Cody at Mania. That's what I was seeing all over the IWC.
I think that's messy. If Drew dropped it, I would gag because I can't stand Drew right now, and I would love that.
But
I would absolutely love it. But then I would be so mad at Cody having the title again and
again,
being a face.
three,
He
he's
I
still a
can't
face
he can't
champion.
touch it. He needs to be a heel next time he's a champion. That's the only excuse that makes it right. That's the only thing that would make it correct. There's no, we can't. I'm tired of it.
So, do you think that's going to change the ticket sales for Mania compared to what we have now? They've already added
Oh
Jade
no,
and Rhea.
they gotta throw. They low key might gotta call Steve at this
Oh
point.
no!
Oh, I might
Dun,
get
dun, dun,
there.
dun,
It
dun.
might get there.
Uh,
I
Oh
just
no!
this helps, but it ain't getting that many more. They have to have a nostalgia match, and I know we talked about this how they can't rely on this.
Yeah,
This is an instance where you need. I'm not. You can't do it every year, but it's a
but this
break
is the
when
card you pull
this
now
is yeah, this is a break the glass when
in a
needed.
case of
This is a break
emergency.
glass when needed. You got to book a nostalgia match. I don't care who it is,
dun, dun,
figure it out.
dun. Literal break glass was
Well,
so
if
cold.
Jericho was
It don't
available,
matter
Jericho
as
would
long
be
as
a
they
good
could
one.
kind of wrestle a little bit. It don't matter. That's all you got to do.
We'll put
Kind of
old ass
wrestle a
Kevin
little bit.
Nash in there since he like talking shit.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to
Call
go after
Kevin.
Kevin
I'm
Matt.
serious. I'm
No, because
serious. Call
his
Kevin.
No,
Hell, call X Pac.
yeah,
I'm serious. You
yeah.
gotta. This is bad. You
Get your
gotta get.
the
NWO shit back
This
on.
is bad. You gotta
Kevin
get
Nash with his
somebody.
bad knees and X
Ah,
Pac with
He
his
went and
ripped
got them.
asshole.
He went and got them fixed. He went and got his knees fixed. He all right.
he can. He that what I say kind of wrestle a little bit. That's the type I'm talking about. Yes, you had hell. They could call Ric Flair.
Oh hell no!
They could call Rick. This the what I
You're
would
going
let
too
them
far.
do it
No.
only it has to be an intergender match and with not inter like a mixed tag so Charlotte can help her daddy out
I don't want to see
so
that
he
Yeah,
man
can have
struggling.
he have a little bit of help. Um,
no.
who else? Hell, put fucking Stephanie in one last match.
Well,
But well, I mean, she is getting
I've
inducted
been
into the
said
Hall of
that I
Fame.
kind of want one more match with Stephanie. You can have
it's
her
the
and
last
Brie
time
go.
she wrestled was the Bella. No, it was that mixed tag match with Ronda and
Yeah,
Kurt Angle,
Ronda and The
wasn't it?
Rock. Yeah, that was her
Mm-hmm.
last match.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, Shane ain't got no fucking job. Call Shane.
No,
Get it over with. Just call
Oh,
him up.
he's working with AEW.
He is not. No,
Mm.
they can't.
Mm.
Tony low key talked about it. I think maybe like a month ago. He said he really couldn't come. They couldn't like really agree on a deal, so it just like kind of fell
Oh,
through.
oh, that
Uh,
sucks.
yeah, just call fucking Shane. He ain't working. Call Shane up. I know Goldberg don't like y'all, but shit, get his damn son.
Fuck him.
no.
Book his son in a match with
Get Booker T. Booker T over
with
there
one of
tripping in
Shador's
NXT.
have yeah book. But no, Booker T is so intertwined with NXT that wouldn't make sense. He's like the only one I'd say would really make sense.
Oh, I love Booker T in
Um,
NXT. He's
who
funny.
else? My God, fucking Wade Barrett. Have these people take these suits off. Wade Barrett
Wade Barrett
or
is not with the shits right now.
yeah,
That man,
I'm lying. He
that
would
man love that damn
once they
dance.
sit in a chair for a little bit, they're like, no, 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 because they
Put
low
Corey
key
out
was
there.
like,
His ass
yeah,
been
they told
begging.
him he low key could come back, and he was like, man, he said not too much.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
He said pipe that down. He said turn down that
Right.
volume, turn that
I don't
down.
blame him. I don't blame
Um,
him.
who's not that far removed? There's somebody that's not that far removed that can kind of maybe bump a little bit.
I don't know.
Not Jay. Oh, Nick Aldis.
You could put Scrap Daddy back out there. Get
Put
Adam out there.
put him out there. Fucking
Nick,
Abyss, tell his ass he apparently got all that stuff with him. Tell Abyss to go out there for a match.
yeah, Nick would be my first choice though.
I would tell Nick he gotta go tell Mickey while she's packing up her gear bag. She gotta pack yours
Yeah,
up.
because she done went over to TNA and giving elegant Ash of elegance.
I'm
They
dead
over
ass.
there
That's the
fighting.
first thing I would say. I was like, tell Mickey to go pack you a bag too.
Yep.
TNA's on
Get
the
them
way.
boots
Tell her to
ready.
pack your bag. The fuck out of
They're gonna
here,
need all the
man.
help they can get in TNA
That's what
right
I'm
now,
saying. Like
honestly.
they ain't really trying like that because look at that. I just gave you so many ideas.
There's a lot of options. I just wanted to know, Alexis, what you think? Do you think that the pivot in these matches with Jade Cargill facing off against Rhea, sans what we know about their personal beef, but just off
Hmm.
of GP of the match itself, and then you've got this match with Cody and Drew possibly dropping his title back to Cody, going into Mania, it could be Cody versus Randy, but I'd still stand by our sentiments. I think it's either going to be a triple threat or a fatal four way. I believe that. But going by what we know and how WWE goes, let's say they're going to go with Cody versus Randy at Mania to try to rival what's going on Raw with CM Punk and OTC1. Do you think that's going to help with ticket sales?
I say this with a lot of respect, so I don't want people misquoting me. Okay, let me just put that out there. Right
Uh-huh.
now, with the prices, the way they are when it comes to Mania and how flat out greedy they could be, they could resurrect Terry Funk and Dusty Rhodes and make their zombie selves fight each other one more time, and I still wouldn't give a shit about this Mania.
Woo, Jesus. You ain't gonna care about next year's Mania either.
I'm not, and that's what makes me so mad because like 2 years in a row, people are getting gypped when it comes to Mania. And both, I know, Rory, I'm so glad you agree with me. That's awesome. But like,
Hell no.
This damn cat don't ever
people
shut the
aren't
fuck
already,
up.
people are
God, just
already
shut
able.
up.
Well, fine,
Not
okay, I
you, not
will.
you, Alexis.
Okay.
She was like, fine, shit.
Really,
I was just answering the fucking question. You know?
it's just that they got greedy. They went back to Vegas, and I mean, at least I've said this before. They announced they were going to New Orleans, and then they did the swerve, and they're like, "LOL, we're going back to Vegas." And now next year they're going to Saudi. So any person with money and a brain cell, especially, I don't know if you guys have noticed, we're at war with Iran right now. So,
Nope. I'm not at war with
and
nobody. The United States government did it. I just want
That's
Iran to
right.
know
I
that
know.
I didn't have shit to do with this.
Iran know that we did not choose this, and they were like, "We know we got shot." And I was like, "Just at least, as long as you got the right address, you do what you got to do.
Gotta do.
Right.
Got to do.
I,
I can give
look,
you. You can look it up the
Just don't
address as long as you just got make sure it's just that one address. That's
right.
it.
Just don't
mm-hmm,
kill no innocents. Because we didn't do
right.
nothing. We didn't do nothing.
I'm just
Just the
saying right
ad
now,
just cover the address. All you gotta do
Handle
is
the
put a
ones that
sheet
fucked it up.
over the
well,
address.
Right.
apparently, if you're going, apparently, they have sleepers. If you're following security stuff like I am, apparently there's sleeper cells already in the U.S. So yay. What did I say about having a distraction earlier? Oh yeah. So next year they're going to Saudi. So no one's gonna be able to go over to Saudi, and much less be able to afford it or feel safe to go over there because I saw somebody say this on Twitter, and it's actually given me proof that some men do have a brain cell. And it's the guy saying him and his wife, they live in Europe. And every year for their wedding anniversary, they would come over to the States and make it like this huge week-long celebration of them getting married, and then they would go see WrestleMania. Like that was they've been doing this for 10 years. Okay? And he's
Oh,
like,
that's sweet.
I know, right? And he's like, I would love the fact if they came to Europe because that would be awesome. Could you imagine a WrestleMania in France? Holy shit. Um,
I want them to do Mania in London. I think that
I
would
don't
be lit
understand.
as
That's
fuck.
the one. That's what I'm mad about because it's like if you're gonna hug over there, go to London.
London.
They could have it at
mhm.
what's that place? The O2. You could have it
Yep.
at the O2.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
huge.
Yep.
You'd be. They would low key. You would. They would be able to sell out the O2
They would. They
because
would.
all those people knows people from France, from Italy,
Yep.
all those people from
Yep.
Europe, like all
Yep.
those like
Everybody in the UK is coming.
hardcore wrestling. They're all coming.
They're all
Right.
coming.
You
And could
know
you
how many
And
imagine
you
and
could have
the
do
sold
you
those
know how
two
many
nights
indies?
easy.
Do you know how many fucking indie shows would be running that week?
I was just I was just about to say
The
that. And with the
It's gonna be
insane
UK,
nuts.
the European indies
the insane amount of indie shows that would run that week.
Yep. Plus, you know
and the
they
talent.
the US shows are gonna go to London because they're gonna
So
make
that's
that money.
on top of that.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep. They
he
was
put
dumb.
he goes,
They
They was
be
just dumb.
crawling. Them
this was
motherfuckers be crawling over that city
Yep.
that whole weekend. Be
mhm.
crawling over. I'm being dead serious.
No,
For
you're
real.
fucking right. But like
Yep.
my thing is getting back to this guy, he goes, this is the first time since me and my wife got married. We will not be going to a WrestleMania because I will not put my wife's life in jeopardy just to see a card that I don't want to actually pay money to go see. And that
I
shit
mean,
hit me. That shit hit me hard. And it's just like I I was gonna have a WrestleMania watch party this year with you guys, but I don't think I want to do it because nothing on this card is jumping out to me that oh my god I have to watch this, and we don't even know what nights these fights are gonna go on till at least the SmackDown before night one of WrestleMania. So it's already a mixed bag there. You don't know what you're gonna get till literally 24 hours before the show starts. And I get what they're trying to do, but they're playing safe. They're not trying to change up anything. And it's just I love Drew. Drew McIntyre is a good wrestler. He's a good person. I don't know what the hell he's doing right now. I don't
I
like
do.
it. I, well, yeah, you just like to look at him because he belongs on the cover of a romance book, but that's besides the point.
I'm
But
not that
I
jaded.
don't.
He's not that pretty. He's not that pretty to
Uh,
keep me from seeing how stupid he's
He's
being.
got the
Because
right
what he's
amount of
doing is
chest
dumb.
hair that I like on a man. I will say that.
Storyline
Um,
wise, it's dumb. It's dumb. You
yeah.
put yourself in the line of fire when you didn't have to. You've made it now, so you have so many enemies. They have no choice but to keep putting you in impossible situations. So storyline wise, he's an idiot. But
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I'm not like when it comes to Mania, I do not get that invested until we're about 2 weeks out, maybe a week out, because there are so many things that can change. I often tell y'all to stop focusing so much on the card because when y'all do that, when we get to the actual show, it isn't as bad as you made it out to be by shitting on the card. This happens often. Often. It's constant. Well, they don't do anything different. There's nothing changed. No, it hasn't changed because they're all about making money. The superstars are going to be stars one way or another. But at the end of the day, they're going to book the shows, they're going to book the PLEs so that they can sell tickets and make money. One lesson that they learned this time was that going back to Vegas was not smart. If this card was in Louisiana, no one would be batting an eye right now. because we'd be in a different city and no one would be
Mm-hmm.
sitting up here complaining about it. They're complaining because it is in Las Vegas. And they didn't want to go back to Vegas 2 years in a row. And WWE did not do their due diligence. You can say a lot of things about the old man. You can call him everything under the sun and calling him evil and privileged. Yeah, those things are true. But one thing he did understand was that there was money to be made and there was a smart way to get that money from them. There was never repeat cities back to back. That never happened. 50 years.
And
50 years.
I think you just hit the nail on the head right fucking there. Um, because again, resurrected Dusty Rhodes and Terry Funk. But because they did this shit with Vegas, I think that's why automatically so many people don't care about this year's Mania because of that. You hit the nail right on the fucking
Yes,
head.
Even
that's
if
the
they
reason
were,
why.
honestly, and the one thing that makes me so irritated about this is the fact that if they could have low key, people still would have complained. But if they still had it in New Orleans, they would have been like, "Fuck it, whatever."
I'm
They
going.
would have just been like, "I'm just really not going next year."
Yeah, but you
Because
have it.
everyone
This,
talks, everyone who like goes to Mania is consistently goes to Manias. Every person I always say who talks about their favorite Mania trip or their favorite Mania, it's always New Orleans.
yep,
I always hear
yep,
that from I hear that from every person I know that
Mm-hmm.
has been to like multiple manias. That is their favorite mania because they were talking about the atmosphere. And then like
yep,
even like yeah, the matches were like the match card. I think the match card was okay. Obviously, the big Hardy Boys returned, but
yeah,
Yep.
besides that, just everything to do with the area. And now you would think about okay, having it in New Orleans now with all the shit like media shit they do now, and with NXT, like that would have been so fucking lit.
yeah,
Because you got Bourbon Street, you got the French Quarter, you got bars all over the place. Like, I don't know if I ever told you guys this. My dad took me to Louisiana, took me to, yeah, New Orleans when I was 18. And he tried to sneak me into a bar, and everything was going fine until the person asked for my ID. So, thank you, Dad. But that is a party town. They are literally going it's nonstop. Like me and my dad walked down Bourbon Street and we went with a group of people from my dad's work. And the guy who's supposed to be our tour group is being led down Bourbon Street with his arms around two other people and he's just like ragdoll. Like that's how drunk he was. Like that is a party town. It's the same way when people go to the Super Bowl. They say when you have the Super Bowl in Louisiana, that is the funnest Super Bowl you will ever have because everyone's in a good mood. Everyone's in a party mood. All the bars are open. All the restaurants are open. Nothing ever closes. Like it switches to 24 hours the whole week. It's a fucking party town. And people have fun. You go there, and then the best thing is you go to one of the many beautiful churches on Sunday. You beg for forgiveness, and you go through the second night of WrestleMania, and then you go home. Like that's how it goes.
I just really wanted, what I really want people to do is, if you don't care about Mania, if Mania isn't something for you, that's fine. But you don't have, it's not the end of the world that you support the wrestlers and you watch the show that they're trying to put on. Instead of watching Mania this year as if it needs to rival the Super Bowl, which, if we're being honest, the Super Bowl was boring as hell this year.
Oh my
Um,
god, it was. Except for Bad Bunny.
it was, yeah, he was great. Bad Bunny was amazing. But the rest of the Super Bowl was boring. And it's because people have made the Super Bowl a political pugnant and it has to be a point of contention for everybody. And then everybody making the halftime show into a thing. It just takes the fun out of the Super Bowl. But if you watch WrestleMania this year and next year, if you watch it and just shut off your brain, Everything that is telling you to fight against it is to just watch it for what it is. Watch it like you're 15, like 12 or 15 years old again. You will start to enjoy wrestling. You got to have a childlike mind in order to really be able to sit and absorb wrestling for what it is. And I'm sorry, but we're not paying the money to go to wrestling in Saudi or Vegas. So we don't have to worry about that. But as somebody who watches wrestling regularly, and I shut my mind down watching it every single time, I'm not concerned about the match card too much because I already know what I'm going to get. I'm the type of person where I could literally see how this is booked out 6 months from now. So I know where this is headed or where it could go. How it happens and when certain things happens, I might be a little off on that. But for the most part, I'd be pretty dead on when it comes to certain things. So I have to watch it in a mindset of I'm gonna go into this with no expectations and we're gonna see how this gonna play out. I'm hoping my favorite wins. Just like any other kid would if they're going to see their favorite basketball player, baseball player, or even their favorite wrestler. That's how you're going to have to watch it in order to enjoy what you're seeing. Because I'm not going to let WrestleMania go down as a premium show simply because the people who create it are acting like shitheads. I'm also not going to let somebody ruin something that I've enjoyed my entire life because a bunch of fans can't get over their own shit when it comes to booking. Which that'll be something that we cover on Sunday in Midwest Melanin Mafia because we have to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, y'all book things in your head. Your expectations is what gets in the way of you enjoying something that's on television. You need to remove yourself from a lot of things. Social media can shape the mind, it can change how you think and how you see things. And if you don't give yourself some detox from this, you will begin to start to think like people around you. And that is where groupthink comes into play. The best way I can describe it, if you watch Star Trek, the Borg, however the Borg moved, they moved as a unit. Everybody had one singular goal to assimilate. And that's exactly what you're doing. Every time you're online, you're arguing with people. Well, the IWC, everybody in the IWC thinks so. Right. So they govern everything that you think. Everything you think, however you move, however you see things, the IWC is the one who decides how you see this, how you can watch this. I'm not saying you have to like everything you see. I'm saying you need to start thinking for yourself. Have your own opinions. I don't always agree with everything Nicole and Alexis say, and they don't always agree with everything I say. We can come to an understanding, or we can come to an agreement, or we agree to disagree and we move forward. Because we understand that as human beings, we each see things differently. And that's what makes us great. That's it. So stop making it so that wrestling is your end all be all and just let it be what it is. It's just fun. No, Triple H is not going to make the best decisions. No, TKO isn't always going to do the great things. And we can call them out on it. We can have conversations about it. But to have a whole think piece about WrestleMania's card being shit because it went back to Vegas back to back, to me is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. You can either protest and not watch the show and keep your sanity, or you watch the parts that you want, turn it off when you don't. I just let it run. When a match come on I don't care about, I mute the TV. When Natalia come up there to wrestle, I mute the TV. Cause I don't be wanting to watch that. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. That's not something I care about. Do I hate Natalia? No. I love Natalia. She is the boat. I just don't like this current form of her. So I mute the TV because I don't want to see it. I highly recommend you do the same. So you can start enjoying some things. Like if you didn't watch Monday Night Raw, you missed a really good show. You missed out on some fun. Now, NXT had a pretty decent show. Okay. To run through it quickly, Ricky Saints was out there cutting up on that damn guitar. I don't know who gave that man that guitar, but he had a guitar and he was out there mimicking Joe Hendry. Okay. He got beat up by Joe Hendry. Vanity Project came out there, was beating up on Joe. Miles Bourne and him was able to get them out the ring. Prior to that, there was a match for JC James Championship against Zarya. Zarya got to have her match. She got to have her match, and everything was going smooth until Soul came out there and snatched both of their souls with a double soul snatcher. Okay?
As she should.
Took both of them out and told Zarya, it's my time and this is my title. Baby, it was ugly. Prior to that, we had a 6-man tag team match. Vanity Project went up against Hank and Tank and Shiloh. Pretty decent match. Hank and Tank and Shiloh ended up winning that match. Dion went out there because Nicole's favorite, Tony D'Angelo, attacked Osiris, took him out, and the only 2 people left is Shugs, Cutler, and the last one is Dion. So Dion said, look, I'm tired of your bullshit. You done took our damn tag teams and championships from us. You done took down my homeboy, my brother. You ain't finna go after nobody else. I'm going to take you out first. So there's a match scheduled at Vengeance. Okay? Vengeance is Saturday. And it's going to be Tony D'Angelo versus Dion Lennox. Now, there was 2 segments with Blake Monroe and Jada Parker. The first one was Blake. Blake went out there and she basically said, Jada Parker, I'm not mad at her because she's the only way she could be relevant is she has to come through me. The women's division revolves around me. I am the NXT women's division. And without me, there's no her. So clearly she needs me. Jada Parker said, nah, sis, you got that all twisted. She said, you're very insecure. Me, I don't care what anybody says about me, but you care about what the world says about you. And even with all that hell you try to hold in and release when you feel like it, and all this bullshit you talk, at the end of the day, you are just a deeply insecure little girl. Blake didn't like that shit, so she slapped her. Then the girls started fighting. Then later on, after we got a little back and forth between Hank and Tank and Shiloh, they win. Blake Monroe comes out, and Blake Monroe has flipped to her hell version. She out there with all black on, and she said, Jada Parker, girl, you win. You have brought the hell out in me. So Saturday at Vengeance Day, it's going to be me and you in a street fight. Jada Parker said, bitch, bring it on. They come out there, they fighting again. It took Hank and Tank and Shiloh and the ref to split them girls apart and to get them to stop fighting each other. Now, the first thing we saw was Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne came out there and was talking to everybody about winning the NXT North American Championship, and he brought back the OG belt, thank God. And then Ethan Page came out there. I hated that belt. Ethan Page came out there and was talking cash shit. So Robert was like, well, since y'all out here talking shit, why don't you just go out there and have a fucking match together? Now, neither one of these men are dressed to fight. Neither one of them. Both of them are in full suits. Do you hear what I'm saying? Ethan Page's ass was fighting and his suit pants got tore the fuck up. By the time that match ended, that man was in his boxer briefs.
I love when they let the men have bra and panties matches. This is retribution for the Attitude Era. I love when this happens.
Ethan tried to cheat with that belt. He had 2 belts on, which is wild as fuck to me. But he had 2 belts on.
Tuxedo matches.
He took his belt, hit Miles in the face, and Miles was able to kick out. Ethan had on these soft bottom ass shoes. He took his shoe came off. Miles took his shoe and hit him in the face with it, and that's how he was able to retain his championship. He kept it, and Ethan Page is out of title contingency when it comes to the North American Championship. That's how the show opened up. Now, what we did learn was that Elio LaFleur obviously is your WWE Speed Champion. And of course, Jasper Troy is not happy. So he decided he was going to walk up to them and tell them, like, look, I'm going to get my title back. And then Eli Knight was like, sir, listen, why don't you move into a class that's more your speed? Because obviously speed has never been your thing. Leave that to us. You feel what I'm saying? Josh Briggs was like, he right. You ain't the big man on campus. You don't need to be going after that. You're not the fastest big man in the locker room. And of course, Sean Legacy was, he was standing there. He had to suffer the wrath of Keanu Carver last week. And of course, Jasper was like, Keanu ain't all that. He ain't got all that power. He ain't shit. So I don't know why y'all so scared of him. Y'all need to be worried about me. I was like, I don't know why they worried about you, Chain Man. You're not going to do nothing. However, he got pissed off because they was laughing at him, and so there's a triple threat. It's Sean Legacy and Eli Knight versus Jasper next week, and I'm assuming whoever wins will be the new number one contender for Elio LaFleur's title, but that probably won't be happening until the week after. Now, all of this is going down in NXT, and the one thing that I love the most about NXT, besides Sol Ruka getting her lick back on Zarya and taking out JC Jane at the same time, was good old Tatum. You see, Tatum and her ex-bestie, what's her name? Izzy, they had a little sit down. They sat down back in the place where they was, where they most comfortable. In the Cullings little cubby hole. And they had her little doghouse up with all her dolls in there. And Izzy Dane was cutting her deep. She told her she was deeply insecure. She's pathetic. She doesn't have anything. She hasn't changed. This is the reason why everybody's left you. Lyra left you. I left you. We all left you because you're worthless. You mean nothing. You haven't changed because you won't change. You don't know anything about change. Cool. All the while she's cutting Tatum down, Tatum's not saying a word. She's not saying anything. When she finally stops talking, Tatum looks at her and she basically tells her, by the time this is over, I am going to take everything from you. She said, by Saturday, you will know that I was never to be played with. And then she gave her that doll. Tatum didn't say a lot. From what Izzy did, compared to what Izzy did, the damage that Tatum did, and to show her growth is that she didn't react violently. She didn't react on emotion. She was very precise on what she said. She said, you seem to think that I had to have you, and the best time of my life was when I won the title. But she said that no longer is truth. She said the best time I'm going to have is taking that title away from you when I become the North American champion. And then you'll know that I was never to be played with. And she said it very straightforward. There wasn't no laughing and joking. She made that very clear. Izzy lost her shit in that room by herself. I was like,
That's my girl.
Now, the only other thing I didn't mention was Miss Lola and, of course, Kaylani. Kaylani went to go train with Shayna Baszler because she is going into the underground with Lola. Lola was sitting in the back with the doctor, the NXT doctor, and he told her she has a hairline fracture. If the fracture is worse or it gets worse, then Lola could possibly miss up to 3 to 4 months while her hand tries to heal. If it needs surgery, it could be even longer. And Lola's like, I can't sit out that long. There's too many opportunities out there. I want my own gold. I want to focus on getting titles. I don't want to wait. And he's like, well, I advise you not to wrestle. She said, I can't do that either. Kaylani's been coming after me, and I need to take care of her now. I promise you, I'm not going to get no more damage to my hand. I'm just going to do this underground match, and I promise I'll be back and my hand will be fine. Doc says, all right. She says, I signed all the paperwork to absolve WWE and NXT of any responsibility in this match. So it's all on me. Doc says, fine. When you get done with the match, promise me you'll come back and see me. And she says, okay. And that's it. Now we've seen a training montage with Shayna Baszler and Kaylani. So it seems like Kaylani's smart enough to know she's going to need a little bit of help going into this style of match. And she went to the right person. Only problem is the last time that Lola and Shayna got into a fight, Lola won the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she wasn't the right one to get the training through. But, you know, it ain't my place. That ain't my place to decide. You know, everybody training is different. We're going to go over NXT Vengeance, okay? Because you've got this match between Tony D'Angelo and Dion Lennox, and it's a regular old match from what I know. This match starts at 7 p.m., or the show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. And it's going to stream on Peacock still. I thought they had switched over to ESPN by now. So they're still going to be on Peacock.
Watch one thing.
Okay, cool. So you got Tony D'Angelo and Dion Lennox. I know Nicole don't care for Tony D'Angelo, but you obviously got to pick somebody in this match. So pick somebody, Nicole.
Nobody.
Nicole.
It's her free pass.
Yeah.
Alexis, you picking somebody?
The guy who's not the wannabe mob boss.
That's crazy. Y'all ain't shit.
Yes, thank you very much.
Y'all ain't shit. I think that you are behind Aaliyah.
Oh.
Anyways. It wouldn't make sense for Tony to lose to Dion Lennox. I think it's only fair because he does make a valid point about Dion and them costing him everything. That's true. So it is what it is. But we're gonna move on. Yeah, Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley. This is for the NXT Women's North American Championship.
You know who I'm picking. Come on, I don't even have to say
I know you're picking Tatum. I know you're picking
That's my
Tatum.
girl.
Nicole, who you got?
I low-key think Tatum's gonna win.
Yeah. I hope Tatum wins. It's no shade to Izzy. She's an okay villainous champion. She's fine. I just think it was a little soon to give her the title. That's all. But I hope Tatum wins. You got an underground match between Kaylani and Lola Vice. Who you got?
I'm going with Lola.
Mm-hmm. Nicole, who you got?
I'm probably gonna go with Lola because they don't ever have that girl lose in underground, and there's no reason for them to start now with Kaylani of all people. That's wild.
I agree.
Yeah, she's gonna lose one day in an underground match, but not to her.
Yeah.
No. Then we got another specialty match. We got a lot of specialty matches on this card, and most of the women are in the specialty matches. It's a street fight between Blake Monroe and Jada Parker. Who y'all got?
Oh,
Got Blakey, or do you got Miss Parker? Miss Parker.
My little Blakey Blake.
Going with Blake. Alexis, who you picking?
before me are two bad bitches.
Not before you are two bad bitches. That's crazy.
I don't know who to pick. I like Jada. I don't like her as a person, but I like her as a wrestler. But it's Blake. Double disqualification. I don't know.
Girl, it's a street fight.
Oh, fuck me.
It's a street fight, baby.
Jada. I'm sorry.
Tiebreaker. Okay. Given the fact that Blake Monroe has had a couple specialty matches and she's only won I don't think she beat Joe. She didn't beat Jordan in that steel cage match. I would give her this match and let them go to Stand and Deliver and give Jada the win at Stand and Deliver. I'm gonna go Blake on this one. And now we got the final match. We got Joe Hendry facing off against Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints is hell bent on being champion again, and Joe Hendry is your new babyface champion. So, who do you got? Do you think it's gonna be Ricky, or is it gonna be Joe?
God damn it.
I think it's probably gonna be Joe. I think Ricky's gonna go. I think Ricky's going up.
I think he's gonna go up for a very specific reason, but I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Yeah,
same. I'm going with Joe because Ricky already won the NXT title. He's already kind of over. He's already kind of over. And if you and me are on the same wave, if you and me are on the same wavelength, I think I know what you're thinking that's going to happen.
I will put it to you this way. There is a reason why Royce Keys is not being booked or seen on television right now. There is a reason for that. And if I think I know why, you will see him later on this year.
I think I know.
You might as well just say. You might as well just say it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and I think Ricky's going to be a part of that. Ricky's going to be a part of that too. If he isn't, he should be. Because that would be fun. I'm going to let y'all have at it.
Yeah, that boy. That boy's not long for NXT.
Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy the moment when Roman Reigns slammed Brock Lesnar on the steel steps after blooding him at MSG 2022? I think that was a very good move by WWE to show Roman as the final boss. I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, it always adds to the story when they're a little bit more aggressive and vicious. Although it's not 9:40 a.m., the exact time that I was born, it's officially midnight. It's Kayla's birthday, everybody.
Yes.
So happy birthday to Kayla.
Happy birthday, Kayla.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so, I got my Learn Spanish in 60-day book. I'm trying here, okay?
So there's only a few more things that I need to tell y'all. One of them is that recently, before we went live, we found out that Mance Warner and Steph left TNA. They quit on their own accord. From what Alexis could gather and from what I found, they left because they would not allow Steph to wrestle. She was not cleared. Even though she was cleared to wrestle by WWE's spinal surgeon, TNA refused to allow her to wrestle. So they both walked from what is being said on the dirt sheets. There's really no other information out there. They haven't said if Mance Warner did it on behalf of Steph or if there was another reason for him specifically. They just said that they both quit. And lastly, the last rumor that I was able to scrape up before we get out of here was that AJ Styles is more than likely going to be your new general manager in NXT. At least that is the rumor. So take it with a grain of salt before you start yelling at me.
Woo!
I still think
honestly, I will believe it once we see how long they keep calling him interim or whatever.
Yeah, Robert Stern, yeah. I still think it should be Johnny. I still think it should be Johnny.
That
He
man is
isn't
doing the
very good.
best character work he's done in years right now.
Give it to give it. I still
I
say
do
give it.
think it should be. I also think it should be Johnny Gargano.
It should be Johnny. Like, I think AJ Styles is going to be gone for a little bit. AJ is going to be out for a while because he's going to spend time with his family. I don't think he would
Right.
retire and then turn around and take a job. Like, even though NXT is stationary, they're not really going anywhere. He doesn't have to do anything other than, be the face of how they book the show or whatever. I still say somebody like Gargano, that would work better for him. Let AJ live his life for a little bit. I'm talking a couple years live his life. Give that job to
Yeah.
Gargano. Give it to Gargano. You can even split it up. You had the multiple GM thing going with Robert and girl, I can't remember her name, and Ava. You can split it between Gargano and his wife Candice. Make them co-general managers.
Because Candace ain't doing anything.
And you can still put them in matches. You can do all kind of shit. You could do it like Bischoff and them used to do, where they would turn around and make themselves be fucking champion and shit. You could do some petty ass shit in NXT with them too. I'm just saying. But that's it. That's all. That's all we got for y'all today. Y'all got a pretty long show. I'm gonna have to split this one in half to post it up on Spotify. But that is it. I'm going to end this here for our show, and then I will round it out with SBC chat like I always do. Nicole and Alexis are not fans of that. So we're going to take a quick break, and I shall return with SBC chat. So love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
It kicked me out after Nicole and Alexis left. It was like, you're done. You're done. You're done. I was like, okay, you don't have to be so rude about it. All right. Hold tight, y'all. Hi, we're back. Okay. Happy birthday to Kayla. She says she's 29. To be 29.
Thanks.
I want to go back. Oh my God, I want to go back. Anyway, everybody in my home is asleep. Here. I feel like I wasted $16 on cherries. I'm very pissed off with that. I got 2 albums I gotta listen to. I gotta listen to Wale's, and I have to listen to J. Cole's album because I haven't listened to either of those. Don't look at me like that.
I'm looking at you like the Wale. J. Cole's gonna give you pass on. J. Cole just came out.
Leave me alone, Jared. Stop looking at me like that. I don't say nothing to you when you don't listen to the stuff I send you. Don't you fucking judge me, your rude ass. But I have not listened to Wale's album yet. I heard it was real emotional. I love a good emotional album. So I had to get myself primed. I had to get me something to drink, and I had to sit and listen while I cry a little bit, But anyways, we're going to do what we always do when we end out the show over here. We are going to do SBC chat. SBC chat is always messy, honey. Okay? It's very messy. You like J. Cole album? A lot of people like J. Cole's album. Mm-hmm. So my husband wanted the Flavor Blaster, or the Flavor Swap. Is that what they call them? Yeah. It's the Flavor Swap chips, and they have ISO Speeds Flavor Swap. It was with sour cream and cheddar. They had this one girl's Flavor Swap. He put the sour cream and cheddar on Doritos. This girl, her name is Madison Beer. I'm assuming she's a TikToker or some shit like that, streamer or whatever. She wanted sweet Southern barbecue, sweet Southern heat barbecue on Cheetos. So they gave her Cheetos. Oh, she a singer? Oh, I thought she was a TikToker, child. My bad. She wanted Cheetos and barbecue flavor, so they gave her that. And then they swapped the Ruffles with ranch, Doritos ranch. And the Ruffles taste like those ranch Ruffles we used to have when we were kids. The Ruffles are fire. I might go back and get AJ another box of the flavor swaps. I got them off TikTok Shop because that was the place that I can get them, because regionally they are not available everywhere, which sucks ass, but it is what it is. Now, listen, we're about to get into these 6 brown chicks, okay? We're about to get into it. Let's share the screen like we always do. All right. Here we go. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all, Ren Sinclair beat Nikita Lyon to qualify for the finals of the WWE Speed Tournament. So I forgot about that, but she did. So good on Ren. Also, the Evolve Championship was supposed to be defended today. I don't know if Cappuccino Jones beat oh boy, but I hope he did. And I know that what's her name was supposed to go up against Wendy today, Kendall. So I don't know. I don't watch Evolve, but y'all let me know what happened on Evolve if you watch it. Doing the New Zealand trend on the PS5 to play the new 2K. Oh, you're horrible. That trick has never let me down. I am going to be playing 2K when it downloads on the PS5. I will stream it for you guys so you can see it. I am not getting it for my Xbox. I am getting it for my PS5 though, and my husband's going to let me play it because he's the owner of the PS5. But what's his is mine, and what's mine is mine. I'm kidding. I don't mind sharing. Sometimes. Anyways, we're going to get started. And Miss Deborah got a revamp. I don't like Deborah. Is Deborah that big bald bitch? Is that her? Because I can't stand that. Question number 1. Bam and I had a difficult time in our relationship 2 years ago. Long story short, he hooked up with a fellow soldier when they were stationed overseas. Bam isn't gay. He explained that sometimes being in the barracks with other men for long periods of time can lead to intimate acts. That's not true. That's not true at all. These acts get the job done, but they don't mean anything. He said some servicemen go to the red district. Some sleep with strange women. But dude and I connect because I trust him and I don't want to expose you to any diseases. What? I should have walked away then. But I'm 7 months pregnant now, and Bam will be deployed again. I told him to keep that man's out of his mouth. He's about to be a dad. Him, you don't own my advice. Baby, your man is gay, or at the very least, he is bisexual. Now, if he's openly cheating on you while he's with these men, that the very bottom line is that he's cheating. Him being gay isn't the biggest issue, or him being bisexual isn't the biggest issue. The issue is that he's cheating on you and openly doing it while you're sitting there and he's telling you like it's just something that we do. No, it isn't. You need to exercise restraint, or we don't need to be together. plain and simple. I think you are hyper focusing on the fact that he's sleeping with the man rather than that he's just cheating. And that's the problem. He's cheating. My deposit hits, so half my rent, my car, and insurance is covered. So 2K and my leg sleep are now being invested in. Okay. How could you, as a man, turn around and let another man bid you off? Well, apparently he not doing the bending, so I don't have nothing to do with that. My boyfriend's daughter had turned 16. She was smoking weed and fighting at school, so I gently suggested it was time for her to clean her room and get her act together. I started cleaning her room while she was pretending to be at school, and I found 37 knives stuck in the floor under her bed. I asked her about the weapons, and she casually said, I collect knives when my daddy and I break into people's cribs. Oh, you didn't know your boyfriend likes to steal? I asked my boyfriend, and he said, I'm a thief. My daughter goes with me sometimes. She collects knives. Chill out. That's her thing. My best friend's apartment was broken into while I was with this man. The thief stole her late mother's mink coat and her diamond rings. His daughter may have those rings. I don't know for sure, but should I tell my friend my suspicions or just mind my own business? His sex game is crazy. So I don't want to lose him. So if I could just get his daughter arrested for theft, I'd be cool with that. Help me out. Let me get this straight. You're willing to put a 16-year-old in jail for the decisions of a grown-ass man, all because he lays you down properly? Girl, you could throw a rock and find a man who can lay you down properly. I don't understand the logic. Maybe you should not be associating yourself with people who allow their daughters to be career criminals. She's 16 years old. He didn't even give her a fighting chance. And your first concern is to get rid of her? You're problematic. So I hope that he robbed your stupid ass too, which I'm pretty sure he's done since he's admitted that he's a thief. What you need to do is get your shit and move far away from there so they don't know where you are and they can't come break into your shit. And get your life together and stop being so goddamn desperate for a man. Who lays up with a man and then suggests that they should get their child thrown into prison? What is wrong with you? You a whole ass weirdo. Question number 3. My parents always spoiled my older brother because everyone believed he had a future in pro football. He terrorized me, stole my money, bleached my clothes if I didn't do his chores. He beat up my boyfriend the day before prom, and I had to go to prom alone. The worst thing he did to me, he shaved my bangs and eyebrows off as I slept because he was bored and I was snoring. My parents never punished him for that. Oh, he would have never fucked with me like that. It would have been chitty chitty bang bang in this bitch. I would have went off. That whole house would have had to worry about me. And you let that nigga sleep peacefully in his room and you ain't never did nothing to him? Shit. He never made it to the NFL. Instead, he became an abusive drunk who likes to terrorize women in his life. During Christmas dinner with our family, my brother was reliving his glory days, watching old football tapes when I revealed my secret. I had put laxatives in his protein shake for the day of his big tryout, period. Which is why he didn't keep the football scout's attention. He literally pooped his pants while showing off for the scout, and the scout avoided and then blocked him. I thought the truth was funny, but everyone, including my boyfriend, was so angry at me. My boyfriend dumped me on the ride home. They still don't speak to me. They blame me for keeping my family poor because my brother was supposed to go to the NFL. I'm not sorry. In fact, 10 out of 10 would do it again. They are overreacting, right? See, here's the thing. For them to allow your brother to take you out every single chance they got, constantly attacking you and terrorizing you, and then blame you for his failure is crazy, right? But you do have to take some accountability for costing your brother his opportunity going into the NFL. Your family was obviously banking on the nigga making their money. And when that didn't happen, they just left him alone and left him to his own devices. But they raised a piss poor human being, and he would have been an even shittier man with money. So I don't feel bad for him, and I don't feel bad for your family. What you need to do is go no contact with everybody. Your boyfriend ain't shit. Okay, your boyfriend wasn't shit. If you talked to him and told him what your brother put you through, and his first instinct was to be pissed at you because you played a prank on him and he didn't like the prank because it cost your brother everything, nah, that nigga wasn't worth your time anyway. I wouldn't give a fuck. I would block him and I would block everybody in that house and I wouldn't be back there. Stop going to family dinners. Stop going to family functions. Don't come around. Don't talk to nobody. Live your own life and build your own family. Because they don't care about you. They just wanted somebody to blame. They couldn't blame him for being a shitty human being, so they blamed you. And that's fucked up. My neighbor called me at work, question number 4, and demanded that I come home right away. My boss wouldn't let me, so my neighbor sent videos. 2 women. One of them was a home health nurse that worked for the elderly neighbor across the street from me. Were in the middle of the street fighting over my husband. Can I have some ice, please? Can you put it in here? Thank you. Both women were pregnant, but the nurse looked further along in her pregnancy. My husband was in the middle of the fight, getting tossed around like a rag doll as the women continued to fight. My heart broke when I saw the other women fighting. I knew her. It was Diamond, his dusty baby mama. He left Diamond for me because I treat him right. I got the house and the car. I keep him in the latest clothes. We're doing so good. So why is Dusty Diamond pregnant again? How could he keep in contact with her? She is less than me in all ways. I forgive him because I love him, but I need his cheating to stop. And I don't know how to make him act right. You bitches are certifiable. You're telling me you took a grown man and you're paying for everything for him. You're paying for the house, the car, you buy his clothes, probably feed him, and he's still out cheating and getting this girl pregnant. And the only thing you could do is call her Dusty Diamond. But you forget that there is another woman, a home health nurse, who worked across the street from you, where you live, who is also pregnant. He has 2 women pregnant at the same time. And you say that you forgive him because you love him, but you need him to stop cheating. And you don't know how to make him act right. Why are you here? You don't want no advice. You like where you are with him. You thought you was chosen, but you weren't. Now you got to face the fact that you're just somebody who provides something for him where he gets the sex and everything from other people, and you think you're enough, but you're not. You'll never be enough. It will never be enough. Thank you. But you're going to stay with him because you're insecure and weird. Question number 5. I will be a better man one day. Just not today. I was married to Maya for 11 years. I did things that ruined our marriage. Spending time, money with her cousin. We dated for a year. But I was working my way back home to Maya. I was bored in the streets. I wanted Maya's warm bed and her nurturing ways. I miss my children too. I missed her cooking. Maya was my person. And I was trying to work my way back home. Just for a little while. I didn't plan on staying with Maya. I felt nostalgic. Eventually, I would return to my hoes. I took Maya out 4 times, spent money I didn't have, thought we were going to have sex again, but she stopped responding to my texts. I stopped by the house several times. No one was home. I requested a welfare check. And when the police opened the door, Maya was in the bed, sound asleep with another man. I thought there's no damn way she could get 2 weeks without returning my call or checking in with me. But she did. She was laid up with a younger ninja while our kids were at her mom's house. Maya had no shame. She showed no remorse when I woke her up. I pounced on him in front of the cops and was arrested. I got a black eye. Maya didn't bail me out. How could she not fight for me or our marriage? Is she having a midlife crisis or something? Why is she with this man? Is it just to make me jealous? What do you think? What to do to get her back with me? This nectarine slap. Nigga, is you serious? You don't even want her. You just like the convenience of being able to go back to a warm bed, play dad for a little while, play husband for a little while, and then you want to go back to being out here in these streets. You know what I've come to realize about a lot of you niggas? Is that y'all could very easily have the life that you want, right? You could have a polyamorous relationship. You can have a relationship where you are allowed to be in a relationship with a spouse of your choosing, and you just do what you do on the side, and y'all home life is y'all home life. However, you set up the dynamic of your relationship is your business. But you got to find your tribe. You got to find the people who think and act like you, who are okay with that. And you have to also be okay with your spouse being out in the streets doing what they want to do. But you niggas don't want that. You enjoy the idea of being able to manipulate and lie and cheat on people. And you like the idea of the world being around you. You don't even want the relationship. You like the fact that she lays up under you and that she needs you and that she wants you. You like when the kids are needing and wanting you, but after a while, when you have to reciprocate, that becomes a problem. Then it's I need my hoes. Because the hoes do the same thing. The hoes reciprocate. They're constantly needing you, they're constantly wanting you, but they don't require anything else of you. And when they do, you're ready to leave. You're emotionally stunted. And you're sexually immature. That's it, that's all. Hey, Don. Final question. Question 6. Recent world events are giving end of the world vibes, and I didn't want to be alone. I asked my ex Kinsley if I could stay with him for the next few weeks until the Iran war dies down. Mm. I love Kinsley. He was everything to me, except faithful. I confronted him several times about his other women several times. So I was in shock when he agreed I could stay with him. Not only did he say yes, he was thrilled that I asked. I was hopeful. Now I know I got him. Now I know how I got him. I lured him out of his relationship to be with me initially. But the fact that he let me stay meant he was open and ready to love me. Not, why the fuck did you think that? Like, you're ignorant. Kinsley has two greedy, non-potty trained 2 and 3-year-olds whose mothers abandoned them. They're non-verbal. They talk to each other and Kinsley, but not to me. Well, that doesn't mean they're non-verbal. If they're non-verbal, they don't speak at all. If they talk to each other in Kinsley, they're not non-verbal. They just don't talk to you. I'm feeding and wiping kids all day long while Kinsley is popping bottles at the club. He also brings women home after me and his kids are sleeping. He's treating me like the help when I want to be his woman. I asked him if he could see himself with me again, and he says he's happy I help him with the kids, but he doesn't see me that way anymore. Okay, well then, mother. So I called DCFS on Kinsley and reported that his children do not receive proper food. The house is a mess. One of the children ate an edible, and Kinsley, a felon, has unlocked guns in the house. I took pictures of the nasty empty fridge, firearms, and sent them to the sheriff's department. Kinsley was arrested, and the 2 kids were placed under my care while his case works its way through the courts. Kinsley has no idea I turned him in, and he's so grateful to me. His people send me money for the kids. He's falling in love with me again, and he says, "You're the only one who stood up, and he helped me with my kids when I needed you most." His kids are all right with me, and when he's released, we can be together like a family. Question: if he doesn't propose, should I propose to him? You bitches are crazy. I cannot believe you had this man arrested so he can fall in love with you. Girl, he don't love you. He in jail. You hoes are weird. But I hope you live happily ever after. I hope you love each other. That's just nuts. Baby. Aaliyah, baby, I don't know. Okay. All I know is she happy now because he in prison and she taking care of them children. I be wondering sometimes, like, Lord, what do people be thinking? Because you can't think that this is gonna play out right for you. Because as soon as he get out of jail, he gonna go right back to fucking other bitches. And you're gonna be right where you started. Alone. You didn't even want to be with him. You just got scared because of the Iran war. And you called him up. Like, how is you okay? For real. I'm gonna get my black ass on out of here. Saturday is Vengeance. I hope y'all watch it because I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Y'all make sure y'all watch it. I hope y'all enjoyed this show. I had to do the Freestyle Wednesday with the girls because they just didn't have the time any other time this week. So apologies. I'll try to get back to the norm next week. Hopefully we can record on Tuesday and get everything done. Happy birthday, Kayla. I hope you have a great day. And y'all don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe Okay, share my content, talk on my content, give me some comments, and I will talk right back. I done been commenting back on all kind of stuff. And my Wrestle Eats video, it did pretty well on the shorts. I might keep the Wrestle Eats to the shorts because that seems to be the best place for it. But y'all was trying to clown me on my spaghetti. I appreciate that. There was plenty of meat in my spaghetti, you hoes. There's plenty of meat in it. I don't like that. Anyway, bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.